Tonight, 1995 Heisman Trophy winner and former Ohio State running back Eddie George is once again calling the Buckeye State home.
George was named Bowling Green's head football coach and formally introduced this morning. Here's Kellyanne Stitz.
Today, I'm proud to introduce Eddie George as our new football coach.
The path to Bowling Green, Ohio started on a drive through Bowling Green, Kentucky for Eddie George.
I asked God maybe 3 weeks ago, give me a sign of what's next. As I'm driving back from Indianapolis from the combine, I'm driving through Bowling Green, Kentucky. I see the sign Bowling Green. And I look down at my phone, it's a message from Urban Meyer talking about, are you interested in the Bowling Green job?
The idea of hiring the Buckeye legend came from another, Urban Meyer.
I have one name for you. I want you to talk to Eddie George. Don't look at anything. Don't read anything don't read his background. Talk to him. Talk to the human being.
While George's football accolades speak for itself, it's his core values that won him the job.
Eddie is someone who cares about people, values personal growth and development. He defines himself by his ability to adapt, adjust, and have success in every aspect of his life.
George's last 4 years at Tennessee State created a path back to the Buckeye State, and the Renaissance man is excited to earn his first FBS coaching opportunity in Ohio.
Just brought back a rush of memories. The sunsets are different here in Ohio, and the people just really embrace you, and the community is so strong. Just looking forward to putting the best product on the field this fall.
George says his 3 goals are to win the Battle of I-75 against Toledo, win the MAC, and play for championships. And he's currently working on assembling a staff to do so. The Falcons open the season at home against Lafayette on August 28th. Then George will get the chance to face his alma mater in 2 seasons when Ohio State hosts Bowling Green. That game is tentatively scheduled for September 4th of 2027. On your side, I'm Kellyanne Stitz reporting.
There it is. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My bad. Hold up. Oops. There we go.
I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. How are you all doing? I caught myself watching that and I hadn't seen that. I'm so proud. Good for him. That's exciting. How are you gentlemen doing? Street, how are you? In the dark?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I am kind of dark, huh?
We're earlier than normal, so your systems might be like, "What the hell is this?"
Let there be light.
I like it. How are you feeling, Coach Hayes? What are your thoughts on the job, and how are you feeling about Eddie George?
Well, I'm doing good. We actually, if y'all in the Central Florida area, hope everybody okay. We had a little tornado warning here today, and it's still on now. So hope all is well with everybody around the Central Florida area. But I think it's great. I think it's exciting. It kind of came out of nowhere. I think I saw it yesterday afternoon, and it came across the little ticker there, and I was like, what? Because, again, this is relatively late to be hiring head coaches, in essence. So it kind of threw me off a little bit. But, yeah, I think it's a good move, and I was actually looking into it, and he was talking about, getting the opportunity at Tennessee State, the president coming to him. Because, remember, he was a financial advisor. Prior to him coaching, and just found a whole new job, a whole new career path here, man. So he's on the move and making it happen. As you see, I told you, jobs come in different ways. Street Urban Meyer called him. Like, hey, you
shout out to Urban Meyer. Right. Shout out to Urban Meyer.
Right.
Yeah, you said it's always somebody. You always say that.
It's a web. You think the WWW stand for World Wide Web? Well, it's the same thing in coaching. Somebody's tied to somebody. Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Shout out to Trick Daddy.
All the time.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy too that he, like, even the way he told the story, even if it's half true, it's a great story. It's a great story. Like, I get it. The coaches do these things all the time. But even if no matter what part of it, like half true of that story is a great story. So that's amazing. I'm happy for him. It'll be interesting to see how he can assemble his team now that it's late. But hey, listen, when the opportunity knocks, you gotta go.
Gotta answer. And a lot of people don't know that Urban Meyer was the head coach at Bowling Green. I want to say 2 years. in the early
Wasn't
part.
didn't somebody? I thought somebody else coached there too. I could be wrong.
Probably.
I'm also curious to see who did he leave Tennessee State?
Who?
Eddie George.
Did he leave Tennessee State?
That's the school he left, right?
Yeah, Tennessee State.
Yeah. So who? I'm curious to see who they're going to get to be their coach as well.
Hopefully they hire from within.
Hayes.
Man,
did you submit your application?
Of course I did. And we ain't practicing on Mondays. Why? Because we got Hayes to do. We ain't practicing on Mondays.
You know what you actually should do is you should video us in. We will watch the practice and we will give our 2 cents after the practice is complete. Me and Street will go, what do you think will happen, Street? So we'll be able to critique. We'll be able to critique everything you got going on.
Like, Street, you see how I cussed that dude out? Boy, he gonna be a hitter, Street. He gonna be a hitter.
We're gonna be sell-off media. We call us sell-off media.
No, hell no, media. Hell no.
We're gonna tune in just to see what the hell we have to say about it.
Hell no, media. That's hilarious. Man. Shout out to Eddie George getting it. A lot of people are tying this into the Coach Prime hire, saying that because of Coach Prime, how it ties in. I believe there's some truth to that. But a lot of people don't realize that Eddie George had been there for 4 years as well. So they kind of started within that same year. I think Eddie George did get the job after Prime got to Jackson State, and then he ended up getting a job at Tennessee State. But Eddie George been there now 4 years, and he has amassed a record of, make sure I got this correct. I thought I had it up here. 24-22 as a head coach, and he finished his last season at 9-4. So hey, shout out to him, man. Shout out to Eddie George.
Break down his records though. Like he improved every year. Like
yeah. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up here. Him being at Tennessee State. Unfortunately, the big time outlets don't give a lot of love to the HBCUs. But in 2021, he was 5-6. 22, he was 4-7. 23, 6-5, and then 24 was 9-4 and lost in the NCAA Division I first round of the playoffs. So, I mean, big jump right there. But that's usually, believe this or not, that's usually how it works. That 1 year catapults your career. If you go watch maybe even Billy Napier being at ULM, right? They had those struggle seasons and they had that one big jump, and that's enough to get them, and that's enough to get them out of that level and catapult them into another level. So that's all they got to do. And I had 2 kids that played for him too, man. They say he was a great coach and he did a good job. He communicated with the players well. You know, wasn't big headed in regards to who he was.
How is his temperament? Like, is he like an aggressive coach? Is he like a coach him hard in practice and then in the games? Because you know everybody kind of has a style. What is did they say what his style was?
No, they didn't really mention that, but they did say that he didn't like throw his famous onto them. Like, okay, I did this. It wasn't an I coach. You know, like there's some guys that are great, and I did this, and you know, how you ain't gonna listen to me when I was the Heisman Trophy winner and that kind. He didn't do that.
Right.
So shout out to him.
That's exciting.
He does well, man.
Yeah, and listen, one point for the Black community. Power to the people.
What?
Shout out to Eddie George.
Hey, it is what it is, right? If I'm going to cheer on Deshaun Jackson, who has no coaching experience, and Michael Vick, who has no coaching experience, I'm also going to cheer on Eddie George. Okay,
that didn't have any coaching experience.
They didn't have any coaching experience. He's now 4 years in my mind, he's now senior.
I hate to go there, but I do want to ask the street. What's your thoughts on this? We brought up 4 names. The common denominator, it's 2 common denominators: no experience and famous. Is that the formula, or what about? Because I don't see the guys that are famous and have experience. And I always bring up people like Hines Ward. Now, I'm not saying they have not approached Hines Ward. I don't know that. But you don't see the guys with the experience in the profession already seeming to get these type of opportunities. Why do you think that is?
I think theory based off some things I've heard guys say.
I think they're pulling guys that kids want to come play with because they probably can't compete at recruiting, right?
Okay.
So you pull up Michael Vick. Michael Vick walked in the house, he win a couple kids. Deion Sanders walked in the house and won the new player in the nation.
He ain't walking
He
in
don't
nobody's
walk in
house.
the house. He said he don't do home visits. So
You wasn't saying that when he was saying Travis Hunter, he wasn't saying that shit.
We're so petty.
Say it again, Street. Say it one more time, Street.
I'm sure he walked in Travis Hunter's house a few times with a couple bags.
Speak on it.
Some KFC. And some KFC.
I think they're pulling guys that attract people, guys that attract attention, that attract media, big social media following. All the kids follow the guy.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids they recruiting follows Mike Vick.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vick sent you a DM, right? You in a dilemma. Because you like, I'm a number 5th player in the nation. I'm going to talk to Mike Vick. At any other time, you probably wouldn't have spoke to the school. You know what I'm saying? Or you would have kind of, I'm not saying not speak to him, but it's Mike Vick. We're going to be able to have a conversation.
Sure.
I think it speaks. I think just like everything, I think a little context here. I think there's a certain type of school that is looking for, that needs the coach to have the star power because the program doesn't have the star power, right? Like people used to always say, like if Nick Saban's walking through the door, yes, but he also has that A on his shirt. If if Street goes and works for Ohio State and gets to put on an Ohio State jacket and walks in somewhere, that Ohio State is going to speak really loud. And a lot of people everybody is not going to be able to go coach at Ohio State, at Miami, at Florida State, at Texas, at USC. You know what I mean? Like some of these schools, this ain't going to fly because the brand is actually bigger than the coach. I think what you're finding is when your brand isn't as big as the coach, then you have to go get a coach that can be as big as the brand. And that's kind of what I feel like they're doing when they go get these guys that used to be really, really, really great in the NFL because they have the brand. Because the school doesn't really bring the brand. Nobody gave a damn about Colorado until Coach Prime arrived, unless you were a Colorado alum. Let's call it what it is. Like nobody was looking at Colorado.
And I'll say that I think you make a very fair point because if you look at the jobs that these guys are getting, it's kind of how do I say this? It's kind of the job where let's see if you can do it first job. It's not the job, it's not the blue bloods, it's not the top tier programs because there's, like you said, the brand is bigger than the man, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's bigger than the shield in essence. But a Norfolk State or Mississippi Valley, shout out to Terrell Buckley, who's another guy who just got the job, but has been in the coaching field for a long time. He's at Mississippi Valley State. Now, it's been a couple of weeks now, but when I look at guys like that, like you said, they get those jobs. In essence, Coach Prime, we know he went for Arkansas and I think Auburn and Florida State, a couple. And I try to tell people, these schools are large, multi-million, if not billion-dollar institutions, and they can't afford the quote-unquote experiment. It's got to be some proof of concept first, because you have to remember, as an athletic director, or even as a board of trustees or a president, if it doesn't work out, at least that guy checked the boxes. Mm-hmm. He had experience, he's done this, he's done that, blah, 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 blah. If he gets fired, I may still get fired, but at least I checked the boxes. It's kind of just like recruiting. Hey, dog, I know that 5'8" dude is a ball player. Head coach wants 6 foot or better. And if I bring him in here and it don't work out, off with my head. If it works out, great. But I'm not willing to take that chance because of my job. I think the same thing goes with those administrators. Now, Coach Prime proved himself at Jackson State. Colorado, another bottom tier program, but in the Power 5 level, says we're willing to take that chance because what else? It can't get no worse than 1-11, in essence, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's take the chance. And then he's proven that. And I don't know where he'll go in the future if he does decide to go anywhere. And I think the same thing. So it's kind of just what it is, man. But yeah, I think it's great for Eddie George, man. Shout out to him and his family. Yeah. An old girl from what's her name from Escape? Todd. Isn't her name Todd or something like that? Wife name?
I don't. What is her name?
I just know what. I get so weak in the knees when you.
I can hardly. I like how we all know the same words. I always tell people we all live the same lives. We just live it differently. Like,
We used to have a rank street. Somebody had that stink breath. You know what you tell them? I get so weak in the knees when you breathe on me.
No, not as a whole. Now, I'm just saying there's little pieces. There's little pieces that we all are like, yeah, that happened to me too. Did your mom ever ask you if you had McDonald's money? Yeah, that happened to me.
Shout out to Mr. Maskill. It was SWV, Sisters with Voice. I'm sorry, I said escape, but SWV, yes.
That's so funny.
I was backstage with Luke dancers this weekend. Hey, I don't live the life I live, though.
I saw.
Man, hold up, Street. You don't keep on me, dog.
I saw.
We ain't the same now. We ain't the same.
Just last week. Hold up.
We ain't the same.
I was just with the officer that arrested. What's his name?
The officer that arrested.
Man, hold up. Let me live my big time life. Hold up. I was just with the officer that arrested my man. That they took his eye up here. He shot the police off. Man, them police whooped him decent, shoe shining. I can't think of it. Marquise Lloyd. Shot the police officer and they whooped him. I was with that police officer. Don't big time me up here in these doggone Hayes streets.
That's the same?
Huh?
That's the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Is it true we have to have a context matters conversation?
Hey, I'm for social justice. You for social media. Same. I'm just messing with you, dog. I had to get enough. So
Saturday morning, Saturday morning, I woke up. He had to go the sound check for Jazz in the Garden. I never been to a sound check. I was there to get my credentials. Never been to a sound check. I didn't have no clue what to do. And at the sound check was Dougie Fresh, 69 Boys, Lil Jock, BG, and Luke didn't come. Like Luke doesn't do his own sound check. Bro, I saw BG twice that day, 10 feet away from him, and did not recognize this guy, man.
Chopper City album.
I literally asked somebody, like, who's that Luke talking to? And they were like, BG. And for the second time, I didn't recognize him in the same day. That man went to prison and came back a different guy.
Most of them do.
Not funny.
Let me ask you that, Street, on the serious, like, don't you think, and from my experience, it seems like prison preserved these dudes. I seen cats go to prison 10, 15 years, and they look young. Am I wrong about this?
You're right, Hayes. You know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because they don't have to deal with women in prison.
They do that. They still they're not eating the trash they're eating. They don't get to go to Burger King. They don't get to go to Outback.
Man, I guess
yeah.
Stress of life. They go to bed. They get proper rest.
Mm-hmm. If they just work out, they come out looking better than you.
Man, cats be coming back. They be looking, because you know how you go to them class reunions and you know the homie that done did 10, 15 versus the homecoming queen, and she looking, you know what I'm saying, a little portly and a little different, bags around the eye, and he looking fresh. He looking like he could go run a marathon. But anyway, I thought it was just me, but okay. Yeah. Yeah. But tell people real quick, Street, what is Jazz in the Garden? Because a lot of people may not know what that is. They're probably, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I think Jazz in the Garden is a festival in Miami, happens every year. I think it actually started with jazz. And now it's like the 69 boys there.
So what do you just go like to a place and everybody comes and performs and you sit down in the grass?
It's at the stadium. It's at the Hard Rock Stadium, but it's next door to the Hard Rock Stadium, inside of the parking lot. And they set up a stage, and for the whole weekend, They just sent artists to the stage, kind of like Rolling Loud for old people.
God, you know that's how ACL started.
He said for old people. Kind of like funk flex.
But
If you
that's
ever
how
did
like
funk flex-
ACL. That's how ACL started. Is just like bring in a couple people, whatever, hang out. Now it's a full blown thing. We have something like that here. They do like blues on the greens, which is that. Anyways.
And they call it Jazz in the Garden because, like, I think you start off with a couple of jazz artists, and they call it In the Gardens because it's in Miami Gardens.
Got it.
From Carroll City folks out there. But yeah, so and it blew, like you say, it blew up. It's kind of like Funk Fest. I think Funk Fest is more nationally known, or maybe it's in the Southeast. I know they do them in Georgia, Alabama, all of Florida, all parts of Florida. But it's the same concept, same type of concept as Funk Fest. But Jazz in the Garden, like you said, they got everybody. I think last one I saw, Anthony Hamilton was there and a couple other people, but I don't know.
Oh, here comes the fire trucks.
Watch out, Street.
Watch out, Street.
Oh, you all right. See, it rolled right past the toes.
Oh, and then the skateboarder.
Oh.
No lower than 100. Wait, how much does it cost?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I told Hayes that Hayes didn't believe me. That thing was
It started off $30 for both days. It was.
And is there seating? Are you paying to just get in? Or are you paying for a specific seat?
Bring your own chair. You know the lawn chairs when you go watch the little kids.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's so funny. That's exactly how ACL started. Just a place you could go. It was cheap, you know, 10, 15 bucks, whatever. Go to the place. They tell you which place they're going to. Then next thing you know, 5 years later, I'm like, oh, this is a thing. I didn't start off like that. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is out of control. But
insane. I still got that blue for you, baby. We gonna celebrate with it. I'm telling you, man. We're gonna make it happen.
So what's 150 a day?
Yes.
Austin City Limits, I think is what they call it. But it's a music festival, but now it's like a music festival, a film festival. Now it's a whole thing. Like it's like a whole entertainment month is kind of how it is now. I mean, a big artist now it's dumb. Like now, like I think Kanye snuck in a year. Future sneaks in, like they and what they do, which is kind of cool. They'll have a big festival. They'll tell you who's coming, but then the other artists will sneak in. So they might, I'm making this up, but they might say Kanye is going to come perform. You find out at 2 p.m. He's going to be there at 9 p.m. He's going to perform at Texas Longhorn Stadium. So everybody goes there to get their tickets. Like it's like this thing where it's like you never know who's coming and what's happening. It's just like a constant stream of entertainment. And then there's the movie sector, right? There's like indie films and there's panels and there's all these like different things. It's just like a whole entertainment month, basically, is what I like to consider it.
So is it different venues? Because you said some people go to the stadium. So they're not all at the same venue.
So yeah, so it started they were all in one place, Zilker Park. They were all in one place, never moved. They were just there. Now it's so big that it's throughout the entire city. So now it's a little bit of everything everywhere. It's like, you know how you go somewhere and you're trying to find your place. There's something for everybody, right? If you like films, cool. If you like music, cool. If you like what is art, great. If you want to, I think Meghan Markle came and talked on a panel. And then there's South by Southwest. All of these things though all started like you all just described, just like one thing, one weekend, 2 days at one place. Now it's a whole blown thing. So there's ACL and there's South by Southwest.
Love it. Yeah. Well, as we segue into the next thing, Reggie said for the $5, appreciate you. The comment section had a meeting and voted to change the show name from Hayes Street to Two Unks with Two Guns.
Two Unks.
Pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow.
Two Unks. That's funny.
All I'm gonna tell you, don't pull that thing unless you ready to bang. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Bombs over Baghdad. Shout out to Reggie in the building. You got 5 minutes. Bottom.
Something is wrong with this man. I've decided something is wrong with this man. So what do we think about Xavier Worthy? So Xavier Worthy, did what he needed to do so that he can remain a Kansas City Chiefs player. He got himself in trouble with the law, so he's officially a Kansas City Chiefs player. So congratulations to Xavier Worthy. In all seriousness, in all seriousness, he was arrested this weekend for, I believe it was a total of, I don't know, 10 hours over an alleged domestic dispute. So yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this. Some of them I will say publicly, some of them I will not, because I know way too much information about the situation. But what do you all think? How do you all feel about this? Like when you first saw it, obviously he's out now. Come to find out, the girl was hitting him and he was asking her to leave and all of these other things, but he's officially out. But what do we think about these athletes who can't stay away from these women who are not good for them?
And not charged. He's out, but he's also not. I know you said it, but
they dropped all the charges. Yeah,
dropped the charges. Yep. Street, what's your thought, bro?
Is it the same girl that he was throwing the money on in the bathroom?
I believe so. Yep.
Let's see. Let's see if we can track her down.
I don't want no parts, old girl. She's dangerous.
Let me see. Hey, throw that up there. You see that?
Nope. Yep. Damn. It was all good just a week ago.
Same girl, right? Ain't it?
Oh, damn.
That's her.
Yeah, I remember before the season started, he got his car stolen. He was throwing the money up. And everybody was all bent out of shape about it.
I remember they was in the bathroom and they were throwing the money around. I remember that. That's me. I think he was still at Texas at the time. Texas.
No, he hadn't.
He had just got drafted.
Okay. He just gotten drafted.
All right.
Same girl. She ran track for
Same girl. Yep.
So hold up. Really Flawed knows the most about it. What do you know about it, Really Flawed? Somebody got gagged or something, right? Choked, the fake choke.
I think the allegations were apparently the whole story is he caught her cheating, saw some text message or something, whatever, and had been asking her to leave for a week or two. And then I think in the documents it said that she was like pulling his hair and doing all this stuff. And once you get called in Williamson County, for those of you that know anything about Williamson County, somebody is going to jail, and it doesn't matter if you broke somebody's fingernail. Somebody's going to jail. Period. Full stop. Somebody's going to jail. And so they took him. And then obviously what it seems like happened is once he was in there and more came out and the whole story came out, what it sounds like is they released him. That's what it sounds like happened. But yeah, so that was the thing, is she was cheating and he tried to ask her to leave for 2 weeks and she would not. So they got into it.
Shout out to Ella MVP in the building. People cheat every day, B. I love it, Ella.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks.
Much love to you. Yeah, that's what I heard.
For 2 weeks.
See, he was trying to get her out of there for 2 weeks.
So here's my problem. And I guess you try to be diplomatic because you don't have all of the information. I understand that. But taking what you know on its face value, trying to get you to leave for 2 weeks, you won't leave. Y'all, I don't know if y'all know the rules about people being evicted and once they get mail there and all that stuff, and blah, blah, blah. I guess my question is, for all the lawyers out there, even though I am a law expert, as I'm watching The Good Wife, another law curriculum, where does the law say, if I own this home, I know you live there, but it's inevitable that conflict is going to happen. I'm trying to get you to go away. I own this domain. I know you get mail there, and I understand all of that. But at some point, where's the reasonable part of, okay, the owner of the home has probably more rights to the home than the person. I want to say visiting, because he probably lived there, but he owns the home. They're not married, so they don't have equal value in the home. At some point, like, bruh, she got to go.
And how long do I have to ask you to go? Like, what's the time limit? Do I have to ask you a week, 10 days, 7 business days? Like, get out.
Not including holidays and weekends, right?
Like, if it's a holiday, do I skip that day? Like, how does this work? Like, I don't know. I mean, somebody in this chat said common law marriage, but they hadn't been together long enough for a common law marriage. I think that's 4 or 5 years or something like that. I don't know. I have a bigger issue with the fact of, like, just stop, don't be in that situation. Like, if you're trying to remove somebody and they're not moving and you know you have a lot to lose, do something different. Don't do what I would do. I don't even lose, right? I'm going in there and I'm going to remove you from my home. However, he has a lot to lose. Call somebody out. Like, do make a different decision. Why put yourself in the middle of this is my question. Like, you couldn't call anybody else? You had to go take care of it? I don't know.
I think it's that pride though, Street. Like, this is my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta leave my domain. And what you're saying, you're not wrong whatsoever, Flaw. You're really not. I understand the bigger heads prevail, right? However, this is not like we on the street having an argument and I can turn in, I should retreat. This is my house.
And you should be able to stand your ground. We don't have the stand your ground law. My thing is too is, and I'm going to say this very carefully. These athletes have agents, and a lot of people who work for the agents, and a lot of people who also work for these organizations. They don't have to do any of these things on their own. There's always at least a minimum of 2 people that they can call. When you get drafted and you're on an NFL team, they give you 2 people that you can call if anything goes south. 2 people. So these athletes do not have to make these decisions. They get free Uber credits. They get a lot of things that the normal people don't get. So when I say call somebody, no, I'm not saying call the police. What I'm saying is you have people that are employed by your NFL team and your agent that take care of these things. It is literally their job. Call them. Hayes,
put that picture back up there, Hayes. Put that picture back up there. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see all this?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see all this? See all this? See all this?
That's a lot of investment, dog.
You talking? Listen. You see all this? Look at this. Look at this.
Nobody else and you.
Yeah, he said he asked her to leave, right? But we all have went through breakups before, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's going on. He's young. He got a big house. Like, you know what's going on. Yeah, he asking her to leave. He antagonizing her at the same time. He don't really want her to leave at the same time. And at that point, I don't think he's mature enough to deal with what's going on.
Well, I was taught if you're not mature enough to deal with the situations that you're in, then get out of that situation. Don't get in the situation.
Yeah, but they don't know they're not mature enough. That's the problem. If I'm the breadwinner, I feel like I'm mature enough. This is no different in essence of maybe the lack of a better term, maybe Travis Hunter, but maybe the Travis Hunter situation, right?
Exactly.
You got all this evidence, but apparently with them, he had evidence of her cheating. Travis Hunter don't have evidence of cheating. She was just in some music videos and whatever, and she said certain things, and people drug him through the mud for it, right? This dude found evidence, says, hey, you got to dip. Now, again, that was 2 weeks. He probably caught her 2 weeks before that and maybe a week before that. But I guess to your point, Stu, right? You said they are immature, but they don't know that they are not. Come on, dog. We was all 21, 22. We was grown as hell.
He probably confused. He just got $1 million contract, and she just gave something to her high school sweetheart who worked at UPS. He probably don't even understand. He probably like, how did that even happen?
He knew. I'm just gonna say he knew.
That boy
this isn't a shock.
My packages.
This isn't a shock. He knew.
Damn. He knew what?
He knew.
What,
this isn't.
He knew. We rarely know.
He knew. This isn't a first. Like, come on. Like, he knew. My thing is, when you know and you get the first signs and the second signs and the third signs and you still don't leave and you end up in a situation like this, at this point, I'm holding you accountable. How long do you?
Why do you think he knew? Tell us why you think he knew.
I know he knew. If you know anybody that knows this couple, if you know anybody that knows this couple, everybody knew. So that's what I'm saying. This isn't like, no, like, come on. That's all I'm saying. Now, my thing is I'm separating the relationship from this incident because you know who you're dealing with. You know who you're dealing with. So handle the situation according to who you're dealing with. If I'm dealing with somebody that I know is a hothead, I need to handle that situation accordingly. Like, I'm not going to break up with a hothead the same way I would break up with a guy who's calm, cool, and collected. I'm going to change my behavior based on the type of guy I'm dealing with.
Why are you talking in code? Why are you talking in code? Like, what is it he knows? What is it you know about? Is that she your cousin or something?
No. That's my homegirl.
Wait, who is she?
That's my homegirl. That's my homegirl. That's my homegirl.
All in the family.
It's my homegirl.
Watch out.
What is it you know that we don't know?
Well, sometimes you know things that you know, and you just have to keep them to yourself. I'm just saying.
Okay.
This is it. Like, yeah.
So, okay, so here's my thing.
You might be able to Google it. Let me see if you can Google it.
He may have, okay, so it seems to be maybe some mutual combat in there. Like she was whipping on him. Apparently he choked her because it says he was charged on assault of a family or household member in which their breath was impeded.
In which their breath
was impeded or choking in common terms.
Breath was impeded.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Breath was impeded, but in common terms, it's choking. I hear what both people are saying. I think I'm giving the benefit of the doubt of the immaturity because of age. And Flaw, you make 100% sense from a mature standpoint, right? But when I look at this situation, I guess I got to give him some credit that, hell, it's been 2 weeks he's been asking him to leave. At some point, everybody got a breaking point, bro. Like, it's been not 2 days. For 2 weeks, I've been asking you to leave. Now, as we all say, where are the people around him? Maybe they don't know. Maybe he didn't give, maybe they're not privy to the information. Yeah, they know they're going through a rocky time, but maybe they don't know what's going on within the house every day, so forth and so on. Where's mom? Mom was a big part of his recruiting. Mom was a big part of his college career. And she's at the games and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying she gave perfect advice, but man, God, dog, bro.
Go ahead. Who?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Put that up there, Hayes. His mom. Where is his mom? She look like she's been around the block once or twice. She understand what's going on. Where's mom?
Damn.
Where's mom?
Damn. Mama's fly.
We need mom to show her face right now. Where you,
Mama's fly. Mom knows what's up.
Damn, look at that big ass pocket. Who's the comedian? Lisa, come look at this plane. Lisa, come look at this plane they in.
Mom knows what's up.
Damn.
Where is mom? I know mom know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mom probably been trying to tell mom. Mama probably tried to tell him first.
But Right. And that's the whole thing. And that's why I'm like, you have options. Like, what are you? I don't know. I don't understand why people get into situations and the situation is just deteriorating and then you're just not doing anything to fix it. I always say you have options. These athletes have options. Multiple people full of options. They have their agent. A, they pay their agent. Their agent is an employee of them. And B, you have the team you play with. So what are you doing? Why are you in this situation? I don't know how they treat women in women's sports. I know for a fact the men in professional sports have multiple options and people they can call that are there to get them out of trouble and to get them out of bad situations. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
But you know what fraud is?
You ever went through
What?
Billy Floyd?
What?
You ever caught your boyfriend cheating?
I can't hear you.
Have you ever caught your boyfriend cheating?
Yeah, when I was younger. Yeah.
Young, how young are we talking?
Oh, that's better.
Probably. I was in my 20s.
And in that moment, right? Like, were you like all together and you were like, you know what? I'm gonna call the people that take care of this. Calvin.
Calvin. Why I gotta be Calvin? No, I wasn't
my NFL rep.
I wasn't calm, but I also realized that I had a decision to make because I couldn't overpower him. So even if I go and attack, I knew the outcome. But again, I knew also who I was dealing with. And I think that's my whole point. I will say though, one thing that I do is I am a thinker. I don't react. Like most things that I do, I'm not usually a reactive person. So maybe that's why, and I told you, Hayes, before we joined, these situations are hard for me because that's not how I'm wired. I don't react. Right. I'm not, that's not.
And I think we were talking about, and the thing is being a thinker, because you ain't want to walk out looking like a really raccoon who had two black eyes. And, you know, it gets tough, right? And a lot of women from the emotional side go hit on this dude and he turn around and bop. I'm not saying it's right, but the reality is it happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
Even Xavier Worthy, their breath was impeded. And he ain't the biggest of dudes out here, but he was impeding breaths out here. But to your point, and I understand why you look at it that way, but you're this small on the spectrum of all of these events that's happening, right? To your point about these players. I know that these players, they have a number that they probably use Uber now, but they had a number that they could call before Uber was a thing. Look here, where you were, call this number. We'll get you a ride to the hotel if you're drunk. If you can't drive, how many of them called?
They don't do it.
But I guarantee they called if their car broke down. They'll use that number.
Right. Or if they get sick, if they need medicine, they'll call that number immediately.
They'll call that number. But when they're in a desperate mode, and when they're in a vulnerable state, it's almost embarrassing where you have to like call somebody and say, "Hey, I need help." Right? That's really what's happening. I can't handle it. I can't fix it. So I need help. Like, perfect example. Society loves to pick on, especially from the men perspective when it comes to relationships, of looking weak, right? We just saw Travis Hunter get railroaded. So now what happens when Xavier Worthy gets out? Xavier Worthy had to call his agent to help settle his girlfriend's differences. I know what you're saying. I know the outcome doesn't matter, right? But it's also the same reason why guys don't walk away from fights, because they don't want to look soft. But when they go to jail for manslaughter, 100%, 10 out of 10 times, they just say, "I wish I'd have walked away."
Yeah. Well, but my thing is the 2 weeks. You had 2 weeks to think about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, right? So at what point, like, what's the cooling off period? 48 hours, 72 hours, 96 hours? Like,
that's my question with the law. And I think my problem is, it's not a cooling off period, because that person now lives there. If you want them to leave, they have as much right to the home as you do. However, it's your home. It's just like evicting someone. And I think that's the issue when you have a domestic situation. Now, even though he's called for 2 weeks, was it noted? Had he called the police? Was there an official
Yeah, I don't know.
notification or documentation that I've been in this process for 2 weeks. I think the problem is at some point in the law, why, if I own this home, why do I have to abandon my home? Right? Why do I have to abandon my residence because we can't get along? And I know it's a powder keg ready to blow.
Yeah.
That's
But so I also think that I feel like we're so quick to react to everything.
Mhm.
Like I just wish, yeah, I know. It feels like it always happens. It feels like it's always like, yeah, but I had to do it. And it's like, but you didn't. You felt like you did, but you didn't have to do that. So
Right.
yeah. And I'm saying I get it. In a lot of ways I don't, because I haven't been in that exact situation. I
Mhm.
can understand it's probably frustrating though that this is, your home. I'm assuming it was his home. And I'm
Right.
assuming that that it wasn't something they got together. I'm assuming. Let's just assume that. I get it. She's in your space. This is your space. She needs to leave your space. But whenever you were doing everything and it wasn't working and it continued and continued and continued and continued, the next best option was you showing up? Bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard to kick a man out of his castle, and vice versa. If she had the home, and here's the thing, I'll tell you this all the time. I think we were talking before the thing. Street had to start. He coming right back. We had to. It's like when we talk about women in violent situations, and you say to yourself, when the dude hit her, why did she stay? It's kind of that same kind. He'd have hit you in your face. That's enough. One is one too many. And a lot of women stay in those relationships until something drastic happens. So,
and I think I think sometimes when I speak on things like this, I think that is my blind spot, is I've never been in a physically abusive relationship. And
right.
so yes, I hear you. And so that's the other part of me where it's like understanding somebody else's perspective on what if I see this as toxic. I've always seen this relationship as toxic, but my level of what I consider toxic is not the same as what somebody else considers toxic based on what they're used to or what their experience is. I always tell people, I'm one of those people, like, I didn't grow up in a household where people were yelling and screaming. So usually if I get to the place where I'm yelling and screaming, I've gotten to a place where you either matter that I'm yelling and screaming, or
Right.
this is going to be the last time we talk, and I want to yell and scream and let you know this is going to be the last time we talk. Does that make sense? So, like, for me, even just being in an environment like this is different because that's not my experience. So it's harder for me to understand that side because I just haven't had that experience. So that's why for me, I'm like, I don't know. But at the same time, I don't know. I just wish people could make better decisions. That's it.
Yeah,
I just want people to
there's a
make better
famous
decisions.
clip. I'm trying to see if I can find it. There's a clip of, I'm assuming it's a couple. I'm gonna see if I can find it. And I mean, they scrapping in the street, like they getting it in
Like
the
a
street.
couple? Oh wow.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing: when they finish, they jump in the car together and drive off.
And that's just normal for them.
Right. But at some point, you muted, Street. That's on you. At some point,
I think both of them were
that
guys.
relationship, huh?
I think both of them were guys in that video.
No, the one was a girl. She had dreads.
Mm-hmm. No, I think she looked like a girl.
Oh,
I think it was
damn.
a dude.
Well, it was a relationship.
That's why it was a real strap.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You seen the video then.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. Maybe that's why when I put up woman fighting in the street, it didn't come up.
It didn't pop up.
Michigan men don't cheat. Speaking of that,
I know
Jen,
that's right, Jen J.
no, Jen, for the $4.99. Appreciate you, but Jen, there was a Michigan man very close to this situation. I'll leave it nameless, but there was a Michigan man very close to this situation. That put his popsicle stick in the fudge pudding. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm just saying, Street. So, Jim, we thank you for the $4.99.
You know what else? You know what else is also interesting? Anytime these situations happen, is it almost
I'm sorry, and he won the Brewers Award. Yes, he did.
Who? Oh, the person you're talking about. Whenever I see situations like this, I always kind of level set or check in with my own life, and I'm like, is this extreme? Is this normal? Is this, because I think sometimes, at least me, I'm guilty of living in a world where I don't always know. I always assume certain things. And I'm like, sometimes you need to check in on what's going on with yourself by seeing how other people are experiencing things. Because maybe I'm living a different world. I don't even know I'm living a different world until things come out. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And everyone's like, oh, that's normal. That's normal. That's normal. And I'm like, that's normal? Okay. Not saying people have said this situation is normal. I'm just saying, I think sometimes it's interesting to see how these situations, impact your life, impact your ability to reflect on yourself. So
yeah, really felt like, I wish he could make better decisions. Like, really, far where you've been with the NFL and women the last 30 years?
I've been around a lot of, what's actually sad? And yes, there's a lot of things I don't say for specific reasons because I'm not going to blow up anybody else's spot or talk about anybody else's experience, but I've been around a lot of professional athletes, and a majority of the ones I have been around are all very respectful, very all the things. It's just the ones that are in the spotlight for things like this, they cast this thing on like all the athletes are like this. And it I don't like the precedent it sets. It's like, okay, Xavier Worthy, how many receivers are in the NFL? Okay, I'm making this up, but if we say there's 100 receivers in the NFL and there's 2 receivers that are having female problems, that's a really good percentage. But yeah, we act like this is this is a thing. And it's like, yes, it's a thing, but it's like, there are really good men that play professional sports that this isn't their vibe. They don't do this stuff. They don't act like this. They don't behave this way.
Oh,
but
cool.
I think this happens to good men and bad men. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it have anything to do with the guy. I think it can happen to anybody.
No, I know, but I think we're in this, right? Like, what I'm saying is, I don't think that that's how people that are not in this see it. Because I hear a lot of people that like don't really watch sports. They're like, oh God, here the athletes go again. I'm like, that's not true though. Like, yeah, they're in the headlight or the spotlights because they're the entertainment. Everybody knows them. But like, that's not all of them, Like, I just feel like it gives them a bad rep.
I think it's like everybody, like anything else, right? Everybody love the train wreck.
Yeah.
We're not going to show the receivers that's passing out turkeys on Christmas and Thanksgiving. It's what it is. It's the entertainment business. Street always talk about the entertainment side of this stuff. This is what gets people to click. People are not going to click because you can see this with Xavier Worthy, and next week Xavier Worthy saves a cat out of a tree. Yep. Might get 5,000 views.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
It's just what it is. It's unfortunate, but that's just the reality of it. And that's just what it is. I mean, everybody loves the train wreck, and that's what we're here to see. And that's what media pushes.
Is Xavier Worthy face popping up on the news screen, breaking news? Is that part of the entertainment?
Yes.
It's part of the propaganda. It's part of the, like you said, oh, here they go. NFL players hitting on women again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's part of the reality show. If Travis Kelce and his wife became part of the Super Bowl, I think them getting arrested is part of the reality show.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. And that's remember when we talked about Travis Hunter, it's like, remove yourself from that. Just don't even allow yourself to be the story. And now we don't even see Travis Hunter anymore. Brilliant.
He did.
Stay
Let's just
away.
erase the stuff from the internet for
That's,
that cool cat.
remember,
Hey.
and that's what I said. Stay
He went-
away. Just
Hey, he went to the depths. He went to the. Hey man, he took his cootie cat and went in the cave.
Street. The cane
world,
juice ain't the only
Cootie cat.
street.
The world, my cootie cat.
Street. Cane juice ain't the only thing out here biting. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
You're right. It's
Hey,
great.
He chose the cooler.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny Jen said it, especially because he's a Chiefs and a Longhorn. Exactly. Like that's the thing. And like I said, like it's just I just wish more people could just like walk away from the situations. So
But here's the thing: we'll never know how many walk away because it's never newsworthy.
that's true. And that you're 100% correct.
So for
You're
the one Xavier Worthy, imagine 100 men walked away. So he's
Yeah.
the 1% that didn't, but he gets 100% of the news.
True. Yeah. Very
Yeah.
good point.
That's just the sad part about it, man. So guess what?
Why would she cheat on him? He had the bag. Why do people keep asking me that? Oh God. Yeah. I think sometimes different situations, people are not good for each other. You're just not good for each other. You just gotta leave. You just gotta leave. So, anyways, I think she should have left that house and I think she should have been gone. But when you're not gone and you're gonna stay in the house and he's gonna show up to the house, game on. As terrible as that sounds.
And what if he walked away 9 times and today, damn, it was the 10th?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. I mean, the good news is all the charges were dropped. I'm assuming that meant she left. I don't know. I'm assuming she left. So, he gets to live on. And the next guy will be in the news, tomorrow or whatever. Like the next thing will drop. And then we'll talk about that. So
same thing happened with Travis Hunter. Now, if something else pop up, the cycle starts over again. 7 days in a news cycle. It's just what it is.
Exactly.
7 days in a news cycle.
She's definitely on her side. I'm not on anybody's side. Why do I have to pick a side? I think what happens in society is some of you are so quick to pick a side. We don't know what's happening in their household. I'm not on anybody's side. I think they're both dead wrong. I'm not picking a side. I don't pick sides. I'm a grown up. I don't pick sides. I'm not in their situations. I don't have an opinion. That's their situation. I don't live with them. I'm not sleeping with either one of them. That's their business. I don't pick a side. So they do what they do. I don't need to pick a side. None of us need to pick a side. It's not our situation.
That's fair.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
I mean, I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
So why did he go to jail? I know you said in that county area,
in that county, somebody has to go to jail.
But why both of them don't go to jail? Like mutual
in that county, because usually the goal is to separate, and then so again, I don't think nothing has released yet as far as what happened upon arrival. But when in that county, once anybody is called, somebody's going to jail, and it's whoever the cops feel like in that moment needs to go to jail. That's usually how that county works. And it could be with anything. People have gone to jail in that county with their music up too loud. People have gone in jail in that county because their dogs were barking too loud. That's why this county is ridiculous. I'm sure every state has that one county where you tell everybody hey, avoid Wilco. Don't even. It's Williamson County, but we're don't go. Just if you don't do it, if you do something wrong, don't do it in that county.
She said Wilco. That thing got a
Yeah.
nickname.
Wilco, and then there's Bell County too. Those are two of the big counties here that usually people will tell you once you get there, just drive, just speed limit, do all the things. So,
man, I'd rather go all the way around. I'd rather be 2 hours out the way just to go around that junk.
Yeah, so it's one of those counties. But anyways,
come from? Where did the extortion come from?
Huh?
I think she wouldn't leave unless you paid me.
Oh, she was trying to get paid to leave. That's trifling.
What?
That's the only extortion I could think was that I'm not leaving unless you give me X amount of dollars.
The lawyer wrote a letter. Let's see.
Ooh, I haven't seen this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
Coach Chase driving through Mexico to get around.
Oh yeah, ¿Cómo está? Where's Rob from Texas? Maybe he can show me the way. Hey, I ain't seen Rob from Texas. I ain't seen Rob from Texas since the dude gave me $50 to accidentally hang the phone up on him. I think he got in his feelings.
Was that after Kansas or before Kansas?
I don't know. Rob from Texas with Travis Spider-Man Hunter.
put that picture up there, Hayes. Spider-Man Hunter.
Travis Spider-Man Hunter.
That is hilarious. I can't see that.
You're just a hater, Coach. Statement on behalf of Xavier Worthy. We are aware of the allegations that led to Mr. Worthy's arrest. Mr. Worthy, Spider-Man Worthy. We are working with law enforcement, go popos, in Williamson County to ensure that there will be the benefit of the totality of circumstances that led to the allegations. Does he have allergies? The compliment was recently asked to vacate Mr. Spider-Man Worthy's residence upon discovery of his infidelity. She has refused to do so and made a number of extortive efforts prior to resorting to the baseless allegations against Mr. Spider-Man Worthy. We will continue to cooperate with the Williamson County authorities as we have full faith that their thorough investigation will support Mr. Spider-Man Worthy innocence. Sincerely, Chip Lewis, Sam Bassett, attorneys at law.
Have you ever heard Rob from Texas Street?
No, I thought that was.
He literally sounds just like that.
I didn't know. I thought that was Cheeky Chong reading the damn thing.
He sounds just like that, and he calls Travis Hunter Travis Spider-Man Hunter.
Travis Spider-Man Hunter, cervezas.
Every time he calls. Well, he hasn't called in a while. So
no, I hung up on him. He said, "This is how you treat your subscribers."
Yeah. That shame on her. That's disgusting.
Oh my God. Can I tell you something?
What's up?
There's a Raw. I just typed in Raw from Texas on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a Raw from Texas with 75,000 views 5 years ago. Something about music. I don't know. I just put that in there. I'm sorry.
Just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Spider-Man Hunter.
Oh, wait. So there's only one video, you said?
Hmm?
There's only one video of Rob from Texas?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to just let you hear a piece of it. This is Rob from Texas. Check this out, Street.
Why don't you play one of your old calls? I know you have a video.
That's what this is.
Oh.
That's what this is.
Oh,
Watch
okay.
this, Street. Watch this, Street. All right, I'm going to take this last caller tonight. I'm going to take the phone number down. Let me see who this is. 5456 in the building. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you're calling from. I'm going to lock the conference.
The conference has been locked.
Rob from Texas.
He's from Texas. Rob, is this you? I need to put your name in here because I don't have names in here. Let me put the name. This has when somebody's right, he's in the top 10. I would definitely give him top 10. But to say he's the first pick overall,
he's going to be the first pick quarterback in this coming year's draft. That's what we're both agreeing upon.
No, why do you keep saying we're agreeing upon? That's what you're saying. I can't say that.
Because
I don't know that.
Show.
I don't know that. But anyway, what's your next trifecta? What's the next part of your trifecta?
The trifecta is this.
Here it is.
Can we both agree that this coming Saturday, Indiana is going to lose against the Ohio State? Can we both agree on that?
I could agree with that.
You can.
I can.
Okay, perfect. Now, once whatever his name is no longer just came out on per benefit. Let me tell you how. We're going to meet Ohio State. We don't know when that they should give the coach of the year to Coach Prime Deion Sanders.
So, Rob, the coach of the year would
Different
no,
question.
because you don't know.
You have to find it where he calls him Travis Spider-Man Hunter.
I'm trying. Let me see.
Oh.
You mean Ohio?
Okay, you say that your platform doesn't move the goalpost, then that means if Ohio State
Where is
beats
it? Then you've already said that about expectations.
Well, he's listing the last two
Arizona
things.
played against Colorado.
Look at what I'm doing to him, Street.
Spider-Man Hunter was hurt.
There
Oh,
he just said it.
You just said it.
Unfortunately, Travis Spider-Man Hunter was hurt. Something happened with his shoulder. That's okay. We handled that guy. He only had 38 yards reception. 38.
Mm-hmm.
Only 5 catches. Do you know how many touchdowns he had that game?
How many, Rob?
0.
Well, say it ain't so.
He threw an egg. So you're telling me that the number 1 wide receiver in all of national football is McMillan. But yet when he faced us this year, we're not talking about last year. We're talking about this year. He only had 38 miserable yards.
And I'm trying to understand your point, Rob.
If you were the GM
Mm-hmm.
and you were there at the game and he only had 38 yards,
Mm-hmm.
5 receptions, 0 touchdowns,
This is the shit I go
would you
through.
pick him up as a first rounder?
I would if I was a GM and I'm looking for a big receiver, 6'4", 6'5", 215 pounds.
Big and slow. Big and slow.
Now, he said big and slow, but this kid had one of the fastest times in the draft. This kid's time was faster than Jimmy Horn.
What?
I believe so.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I believe so.
that
Let's
is-
see what
I
he
don't
ran.
know why that is so funny to me.
I'm trying to see what he ran.
Spider-Man Hunter.
Travis Spider-Man Hunter. No,
But it looks like
He
it was
ran a
4.5. So
he ran a
close.
4.5. So he was 0.04 of a second slower than Jimmy
400th of
Horn.
a second. Yeah.
He
At
called
that,
him big
at
and
that
slow.
size.
At 215, 6'4". He's listed at 6'4", 215. I'm just saying, guys. 6'4", 219 was
What are we
his
even
size.
talking about at this point?
I can't wait to cut this up. Well, Travis, appreciate you. Light this mother love up, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But that's I just think it's funny how people use one game to like go in on guys. And I'm like, you realize that's not how this works, right?
right.
Nobody just gets drafted or not drafted off of one game.
Travis
But-
Spider-Man Hunter. So, Street,
I don't
can
know
we
why
say
that
in the
tickles
super
me.
floor since we talked about Worthy? There's another 2 people into this that's kind of in the same realm from still football related. My man OBJ and Drewski. Talk to us, Flaw.
Sorry, I just looked up T-Mat's stats. He measured in at 6'4". I always thought his height was kind of, anyways, 10-inch hands. Are you kidding me? Make him a Steeler right now. Yeah, so
Make him a Steeler.
the gift that keeps on giving. So, well, okay. I'm a little bit confused about this because I heard, so what did this come out? Saturday or Sunday or whatever. They said that Drewski and Odell Beckham have been added to a case that a woman has filed that was a part of the Diddy party, right? Is that how it came out? Their names showed up on one of the things.
Parham,
And-
whoever Parham is, yes.
Yeah. But then Drewski came out and was like, I wasn't even famous then. So how would I even go to this party if I wasn't even famous? Like, how would I even know about this party?
Because you
mind,
sold
I'm like-
your soul
I'm-
to the Illuminati.
in my
and
mind,
became
I'm like-
famous.
Yeah, so that actually is a really good question. How did you get in this lawsuit when you
Yeah,
were
but here's
famous?
a great one. He sold his soul to the Illuminati, and then he became famous. You heard what Cat Williams said.
Yeah.
I auditioned for the part, and I told him no. So how did y'all get here? So Drewski, you weren't
Yeah,
famous.
I have
So
I
how
have
did you get here?
questions. And then Odell's in it too. So like I have questions. Like And then didn't Drewski stay with Odell Beckham during quarantine, which is in 2022? So how did you go from being a nobody to staying with Odell Beckham in 2022? What's going on? 2020. Yeah. So
I'm questioning anybody that stayed with Odell Beckham. and then like, what do you like? He like butch females, don't he? Like,
I don't know what it is with Drewski and the manly lesbians. I call them that because I don't know how to. I don't want to not here to offend anybody, but I don't know what do you call them. He called him butch. Like he said he got a thing about the boxer shorts. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, it's a little nuts. It's a little extra. I don't know. I don't know. It's too much. I turned it off immediately. Didn't want it in my algorithm. Stud. Thank you, Insane.
He said he dates women that are studs.
No,
he likes the studs. Yeah,
he likes the studs.
The women or not? They don't have to be women.
The women. He like the women that dress like men.
Yeah.
Okay.
And fake talk like men.
Okay.
So like Brittany is a Brittany Griner like right on the like.
Is that his type?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't even try to. I didn't even try to explore it. I didn't want like that.
Oh, you didn't. Now I got questions. I'm like, okay, I'm interested. Well, I don't know.
Way different between tomboys. Yeah, tomboys. But at our age, I don't know how many people are tomboys. When you start getting in your late 20s and 30s, 40s, who's a tomboy?
I consider myself a tomboy.
I got a different name for it. I'm sorry. I didn't know it stayed the same.
I was just being annoying.
You on Mute Street.
Yeah, he's probably talking trash about me.
How much of a tomboy could she be with two guns sitting right? Can't be.
That's why I'm a tomboy. That's why I'm a tomboy. I carry guns with me at all times. I carry guns with me at all times.
Two guns. So yeah, I don't know about the Drewski thing in the stud stuff. I don't understand. My mind I can't wrap my mind around it. Even though
I don't.
Technically they're women, but I don't understand it.
He likes a certain build.
I had a friend. Here's the story. I had a friend that caught me off guard like that one time. We were in a conversation with a stud, and she's a woman, but she sounds like a man. She acts like a man. A mannerism. She wants to be a man. She's not a man, but as soon as she walked away, he was like, "Boy, I tapped that," and I was like, "No, what do you mean?" But then when I thought about it, it was kind of like. Maybe he gets some gratification of showing her you're not a man. You want to be, but you're not a man. Watch this. Maybe the dominating part of it.
So again, I don't know. I'll just say this real quick. Scam. I think Drewski does that for comedy content. Panama. Drewski is joking around with about the stuff. Okay. But again, that's where I say I'm not good because like I said, everything ain't content to me. That's like me coming up here acting a certain way, and I come out there and be like, oh, it's only for content, guys. I'm not really like that. Please, y'all are run crazy with this.
No,
anytime it was my homeboy. It was my homeboy. Damn.
It's because you started the story and then you said, and then when I sat and thought about it, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it went a
I
little
was trying to figure out what did he hear that I didn't hear. Like, it was like another dude in the conversation. It was like,
well, he liked that.
But it's not a dude.
But he liked it.
Man,
we got to give ourselves more credit and stop letting these studs impede. It's a goddamn girl.
So here's the difference. So here's the difference compared to like what Panama is saying. Here's my opinion. We've seen people like Big Jaw. You know, Big Jaw does the comedy skits, and there are a couple others that do the things trying to holler at the lesbian friend, right, or the stud friend. But you clearly know those women, because they also play other roles in the skits, are women. They don't even,
Fair.
they're a bad looking stud. Like, I don't know. They do a bad job of portraying a stud in that sense. Right. But Drewski shows real live. I don't know, I'm not trying to be like studly women that really look like dudes. In those skits, they look like women that's trying to dress up like a stud. That's the difference.
But the fact
Am
for
I
him to
confused?
come up with a skit like that, it's the same type of thing. He's trying. I've watched those skits before. It's the same thing. It's kind of like showing you that these studs out here acting like this, but some of them getting sausage on the load. Yeah.
No, I agree with you, but I think it's a parody on people who think like that. Like, you be wanting to holler at the stud, you like,
no.
and
Why we let
there
these
is-
studs trick us into thinking that they women? Hayes, they not. They soft.
if it's between me and Brittany Griner to keep civilization alive, you got to bring out the turkey baster, or we all gone. There's nothing she can do for me, dog.
Grace Jones. What was that?
She still. Well, she
Oh,
didn't wear boxer shoes. No.
confusing looking at her.
No. Grace Jones is different than the Brittany Griner, than
No, she's different than Brittany Griner, right? But
than
I'm
the
asking you,
Snoop.
what was she?
So that's
though?
different. No, but that's different than the Snoop from The Wire. That's
I'm
way
asking
different.
you, what was Grace Jones? I'm not asking you to compare them.
Oh,
I'm
she was
saying,
eccentric as all hell. Eccentric as all hell. That's the best way I
Was
can
it
describe
sexy to you? Did it appeal to you?
it. No, but she still was feminine. She was strong but feminine. Imagine Snoop from The Wire. Hey, yo, son, how my hair look, B? Bah! No, hell no.
My homeboy was saying a magic Snoop from The Wire naked.
Can't.
Dog, listen, hold up, dog. It's a woman. It's gonna have a curves. It's gonna have. That's what he was saying. It's gonna have titties. It's gonna have curves. If it doesn't open his mouth, you won't even know she's acting like a man. And that's what he was trying to say.
But she looked like a dude.
Not with her clothes off, Hayes. She don't. she gonna look like a woman, Hayes. What do you think's under there? Like men legs?
Yes.
You think she got men? She's probably home looking in the mirror trying to get rid of her feminine body.
Street. Stop this, and I mean right now. There is nothing about this street. Nothing.
Hey,
I can't
with clothes on. That's what he was trying to tell me. With clothes on, when those clothes come off, that is a woman. You get how tough she try to talk.
And there's nothing I could do for
Don't
Snoop.
let the makeup. Don't let the makeup. Let the makeup fool you.
Street.
I got nothing.
Nothing. I have nothing. What I'm saying is,
Brittany Griner look like Brittany Griner got that other chromosome. And that one that run track, dog, is close, dog.
Street, come on, dog. What are we talking about?
I mean, dog, I was confused too. You know what I'm saying? I just was trying to get to the bottom of what he was talking about. I was like, what did he just hear? Like, I know I just heard somebody up here talking like a stud.
Most people don't know this track, lady. Come on, dog. Street, come on, dog.
I've never seen. Let me see. I've never seen her.
I'm trying to find a bigger picture.
Oh.
Oh shoot, it's not. Hold on, let me share it. Let me share the other screen. Bruh. Street. There's nothing we could talk about this street. You're on mute, bro.
I think she had like an extra X or extra Y. I skipped that class. I was absent that day in school. But I think she ran in the Olympics and they disqualified her, right?
I don't know. I don't know, Street. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Get crap out of here. Like, civilization is over, Street. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. You heard what Doji said the other day?
We got to wait till another meteorite hit Earth and start life all over again. It's done.
Yeah, man. Doji said,
You mighty quiet over here, Flo.
What to say? Yeah. I mean, I'm not into that, so I don't know what to say.
And this is not about.
I'm just learning and listening. I'm just learning and listening.
And I want people to understand this is not about ugly or pretty. This is about presentation.
But I think it's a bigger conversation though about biology.
No, because you have Florence Griffith Joyner. All muscle, no fat, no hips, no nothing, feminine. She looks just like this, but feminine.
I just think that, yeah, I don't know. Dead silence. We've lost the plot.
I'm just saying.
So NFL free agency. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. Street doesn't see a problem with it. You're kind of like, what the F? So I don't, you know.
Oh no, I see a problem with it. There's
no, I'm saying from your experience, you've had friends that have been like, yeah.
No, but I had to check, but Hayes, I had to check myself. I had to check myself for letting me feel like she's a man. Like, she's not a man. Like,
no, you know right. Biologically, no, correct. But there's what I understand, but we're talking about you're attracted with what you're attracted to. So here's what I'm saying. Here's FloJo. She baby ain't got no hips, breasts, nothing. Muscular, veins popping everywhere.
Man, FloJo was gorgeous.
Right. But also feminine, like was.
Yeah, I mean, why are we pulling up FloJo though?
Because I was trying to make the thing, it's not about their bodies in the sense of the track body. Because some people say, well, she's running track and it's about this. But we're saying FloJo runs track too. And it's still fit. That's all I was just trying to make the comparison. You see what I'm saying?
Do you remember Kalina Bradshaw?
No.
She kind of had natural, like she just was a good athlete, basketball, ran track, like in that, but was naturally born with muscles, like naturally born, like looked like she could play running back, like for Norland.
Okay.
I don't think those are the same things as somebody dressing up like a man. I had to shake it off. I had to be like, wait a minute, she's acting like a man. It's not a man. I had to check myself, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if they see it that way though. Like, I wonder if they see it as acting like a man.
I think that's what they're mimicking. The walk, the talk. Yeah, boxers.
Listen, bro, if they don't, then okay. If you were acting like a cat really flawed and you really thought you were a cat, well, what would we call you?
No, but what I'm saying is because when I wear baggy clothes or whatever, I don't think I'm dressing like a man. I think I'm just wearing clothes that are comfortable. So I'm just wondering. I'm just asking a question. I don't know. I'm just asking a question.
I think it's a
I-
presentation.
You wonder
is the
how
biggest
far it
thing.
goes, right? You're saying you wonder how far it goes in their mind. Well, you see it. They get in the fight with men like they're weird. It's just like if you thought you were a giraffe really far because you have on yellow right now, you really believe you're a giraffe, we'll call you crazy.
But a giraffe to a human?
Like it's the same thing. You're not a man. You
Oh,
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about my actual identity. I'm just talking about like in general. Like, I guess my question is like when they go shopping, are they shopping for clothes that look like men like because I want to look like a man? Or are they just like going shopping
Yes.
to find things that are comfortable? Because I end
Yes.
up wearing very similar things, but when I put those things on, I'm not thinking I'm dressed like a man. I'm thinking I'm dressing comfortably.
Yeah, but okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever bought men's jeans?
Yeah, I wear
Okay.
Lululemon's men's.
No problem. But do you let them sag off your butt?
No, well, no.
There's the difference right there. Even though it may be like it's like saying buying men's tennis shoes. It's a man's tennis shoe, but we're talking about it's the presentation of the
So you're not talking about the actual item that is a shirt. You're
No,
talking
right.
about how the shirt is worn.
Right, it's presentation. That's what I said earlier. The presentation
okay.
of the
Yeah, well,
TLC.
I could.
TLC was a perfect example. They wore baggy clothes, but they were all T-bars, left eye, and chili were all feminine with it. And
I
Aaliyah
can see that.
was in the same era. She wore baggy clothes and was feminine with it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So it's the way the package is presented, basically.
It's all about the presentation.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
now Brittany Griner, or even I don't know the track lady's name, if they presented themselves in a womanly fashion, then they may not be as attractive, but they're womanly. Like that's what a man is attracted to.
Well, apparently not all of them.
Well, that's true. I'm not attracted to this lady because she biologically is a lady and her body has curves. I'm attracted to the presentation of it as well.
Mm.
I don't believe.
Let me ask you this, Paul.
Wait, hold on.
I don't believe that.
Hold on. Okay, so then what do you think, Street?
I think if we were all walking around naked like cavemen, the attraction will still be there. Like the attraction is the biological body, the smell, the scent. It is not the goddamn miniskirt.
But they don't have that. That's what I'm saying. Those women are not putting on things that we're attracted to. They wearing Calvin Klein for men.
Did Hayes hear anything I said?
Yeah, you said we walked
If
around.
you strip her naked,
mm-hmm.
you the animal part of you as a man, me, Hayes, look for woman. You would sense her as a woman. Yeah, but what the hair looks like. And you would sense woman. Naked, no clothes, no makeup.
But if she's walking around like the caveman and not so you think cavemen and cave women carried themselves alike?
That's a good question.
I think
no, I'm just saying.
I think they both look rough. I think they both look rough as hell. I think it's the essence of a woman. I don't think she needs to have weave. I don't think she needs to have on clothes. I think well, we have civilizations where they don't wear the things we wear, right? They're in the bush, right? They women don't look like our women, but do you think they men running around saying, "I wish you looked like Lakeisha from Miami"? No, he's attracted to her.
Yeah, but Street, I hear all of that. Let's flip it since we have a lady on the panel. Women like, and I'm asking you this because on the reverse side, women like men because you hear them say, "Ooh, the smell of a man, the way he walks, the way he da, this, that, and the other." It's the way in which he carries himself. Now, that same man with that same body walking around with his wrist bent, you're not attracted to that. Even though he's a man, he walking around naked, blah, 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 like we cavemen, but he walking around versus I'm caveman. Hear me roar. I guarantee the one that's walking around ain't getting You get what I'm going with this? Like,
Oh.
I don't know how to explain this.
Oh, tell me something that a man does as a man that turns a woman on, and it has nothing to do with looks. Like some
You have that flaw.
women are sometimes attracted to men things. Like he's being a man. He's being brutal. He's being aggressive. He's conquering other men. Like
that's part of his presentation. Yes. Now the other guy saying,
I think you might be saying the same thing, but using different words.
Reggie said, what is that sound effect? That was him tiptoeing through the tulips. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to add to this conversation. That stud that was talking to us, we all knew was drop dead gorgeous. Because we had seen them.
I'm not saying they won't be fine. I'm not saying they won't be fine.
No. What I'm saying is we had seen her dress other ways. Like we've seen her flip flop, right? She had the brown eyes, so we knew she was drop dead gorgeous. But when she talked with her deep voice and presented as a man, to me, I turned it off. I turned it off, and he didn't. He was like, "I know what's under there." Kind of
right.
Like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think y'all are saying the same thing.
Right, but I think your friend is thinking of it as that's a costume, that's an act. There's something different under there. I'm saying
no. He's just saying that we were cavemen walking around. That's coochie. I know what that is. I know what that is.
Yeah. I mean, to that
like
point.
With a house party, I smell. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's the difference. Okay, let's go to the red balloon game. Women pop their balloon on the things that are not the essence of a man. Maybe the way his clothes fit. Your clothes too tight. Your all of that presentation, right?
Right.
I never heard a woman say they popped the balloon because he's too manly.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
And I never heard a guy pop his balloon because she's too feminine.
That's funny. Dolce just said this weekend, and I love the artist Dolce, the little girl. She just said the first red flag is when a man says he's a straight man. So we're just entering a whole new realm of something, Hayes, that we ain't gonna be able to relate to in a couple of years.
I saw that clip, and it didn't make any sense.
I don't even know what that means,
bro.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know if she was trying to say. I think people overcompensate sometimes when they are questionable on who they are. Maybe I think she was trying to say maybe they yell straight sometimes because they want to make themselves believe. I don't know. But if she's saying what we think she's saying, then we're walking into like, because when you look at her, she's a sexy girl. But sometimes when you look at her, she comes across kind of tough.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So what do you think she meant?
I think she meant what we all think she meant, which is confusing as fuck. I think they're walking into realms where it's like your sexual male, female doesn't matter anymore. I think these younger kids are really flirting with that and the confusion of that. Like what you are doesn't matter.
Right. They're just trying to make everybody the same. Like
right.
You're just beings. You're just human beings. There's no
right. And being masculine is like almost as if they want it gone.
Let's see. I think I got it right here. We could play it. It's like a minute. Let me see.
I'm so confused.
No, we're gonna catch you up. We're gonna come catch you up. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because I don't understand. I just don't even understand. Well, first of all, what man speaks like that?
Like what?
Who says
Dolce is a girl?
No, but she said how she doesn't want a man that says.
Well, let's hear how she said it. Let's hear. Okay. That's one of her dancers right there. I think. I like her too. I think she's super talented.
All right, hold on. Let me add this back up.
You ever heard any of music, Hayes?
I have. You told me about it, but I if I have, I did not know it was her.
And Lauryn Hill brought her on stage this weekend.
Okay, she's from Tampa. All right, here we go.
What's my biggest?
That's her right there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just so people know who's who. I'm hella confused.
So
Maybe she just like girls.
It's
is
a
that a
red
dating? Is
flag.
that a dating question though?
No, this is that hot ones where they eat the chicken wing. I guess the white dude that used to be on there, they sold it, or maybe they still filling in. But I'm so confused because she said a straight man is a red flag. I don't understand that.
Maybe
Maybe
she
I'm
just
not.
like, maybe she likes women. Maybe she
Right. Maybe she's just not into men.
right. Maybe that's what she meant.
Which if that's the case, then that makes sense.
Yeah. But she
I don't
also
know.
specified straight man, almost as if she would play with bisexual men or gay men. That's what it sounded like. She said specifically straight men.
I don't understand.
I'm lost. I can't. I don't know.
Because I don't understand.
I mean,
She
I
said,
don't.
in dating, what's a red flag? Straight men is a red flag. So I guess she's saying, street, watch out your back pocket, dog. That lady trying to get that out your back pocket.
Hey, what the hell going on? What the fuck
Is
they
Hey, hit her with one. Hit her with one.
They're close too, Street.
Yeah.
So what I think what she was saying was, because I think she is bisexual, whatever, a straight man is like a no. I don't want to deal with a straight man.
Yeah.
That makes sense though.
Okay, so that makes. I just think
But if it's anything other than that, I'm confused.
Yeah, I was hella confused.
Anything other than that, you confused?
Yeah, because that makes sense if you're talking if that's like if y'all are talking about dating, if that's what that was. The whole clip, I don't know.
I don't know. That's just
super talented though. Lauryn Hill brought her on stage this weekend. Very talented, very artsy little girl. I've seen her look sexy without being naked. I've seen her half naked on stage. I've seen her fully clothed. Like very, 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 very artsy. I like her style.
So I'll say this young lady right here, I don't know her preference. Maybe you could say her clothes is a little masculine, but she's still feminine within it, right? Just like Doche, she got a tie on and all that, but it's still a feminine look. Even though she may not like men or whatever, there's still some femininity there. She has the makeup, the braid, the nail. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Ellen is saying we're missing the point.
Oh, are we?
Oh, so help us out, Ellen, because I'm so lost, baby.
I think she's saying, looks like she's saying, if you're straight, there's no need to emphasize that you're straight.
Okay. Okay. All right, Ellen MVP. Man, y'all, matter of fact, God doggone, how do I get the button? Y'all clap it up for Ellen MVP in the building. All right. Now I'm understanding. Okay. Red flag. So if she's on a date and I'm saying, hey, Doja, how you doing? You know, I'm a straight man. I get it now. Okay. Thanks, Ellen. Makes sense now. Makes sense. I get it. It's like you don't have to brag about what you are if that's what you are. Because if you're trying to convince people you're straight, then that means you're not. It's kind of like if I got to convince you that I'm rich, do you really have that much?
Yeah, I mean, I
get it now. Based on what Ellen is saying, there's no need for me to tell you that I'm a straight man.
I mean, but in some cities, you do need to. In some cities, you need to make that very clear.
But if you ask me, then maybe my response is that. However, I shouldn't have to just tell you. You should be able to tell through my presentation. Now, again, I know you got some good brothers out there, but I get where you're going, LV. God doggone it. That's what you know. What you just got to raise, Ellen.
I again, I haven't had that experience. I've just never had to have somebody identify either way, so I'm not sure. I don't know. But like, if you're having a conversation, aren't you supposed to have the conversation, or no? You just skip over that part?
No. Okay. Here's a perfect example. Your boyfriend, whatever. You never asked him if he was straight. He never told you he was straight. You just what it was.
No, we've had conversation.
Oh damn! I ain't never had that conversation.
I think it's always something that you just want to see. Like, what are you into? What is it that you like? What do you? And some people will be like, I'm not into anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a normal conversation. It's like when you talk about finances, how do you get to know somebody if you're not asking questions? Get to know somebody.
Street, you ever had that conversation? Oh damn, he's
what conversation? Like, are you like?
Hold up.
Like?
So when you met Kia, when y'all met, well, y'all know each other for a long time, but a girl that you dated, right? At some point, have you ever had the conversation to tell her that you were straight? Like you ever
Or
said,
what
"Hey,
you're
babe,
into? What you're into?
I think I've asked her.
And
Hoping.
more, yeah, like what are you into?
God, please let us be like her. Please, Lord Jesus, please.
Again, right. But how many girls saying, do you like dude? With the hopes of two dudes.
I think today
Maybe
you
I'm
have
old
to ask.
school.
I think
No, I'm
today
talking
you
about
have
from the
to
guy.
ask.
I'm talking about from the guy.
He's saying, have anybody ever said that to you?
Has a girl ever asked? I'm scared he gonna be like, yeah. Damn.
A girl ever asked what? Do you? Are you get? I think that's it. I think that's like an insult to a man for a girl to ask him that.
Which is why I could understand why you don't even have the question get asked to you. You immediately give your answer.
And I think the red flag to Doche was saying, if a man
Is giving you
reveals
the
that
answer.
he's straight, he's basically telling you it's something wrong
He
there
doesn't have
because
to.
men,
Yeah.
because men don't typically do that. I don't have to tell you I'm straight. I may have to tell you that I'm gay, but I ain't got to tell you I'm straight.
Right, because that's supposed to be understood. Got it. Why was that so complicated?
Can I interrupt this conversation for a quick
No,
stock
no,
market
no,
break?
no, no.
I don't know
I'm
what's
not
going
sure.
on right now out in this world while we're live, but the stock market is fucking crashing. Like it's just going down.
Hard.
And it's not supposed to be moving like that right now because the market isn't open. So I don't know if we're going to get off this live and find out something has happened in this world, but it shouldn't just be going down this fast. And
Why not? This is what people voted for.
Street is crashing. I would check the Bitcoin.
But the market is closed. That's what I'm saying. Like right now,
Yeah,
it's moving like the market is open.
Because everybody's exiting.
So Street, let me ask you a question.
You can exit right now, even though it's closed, and then it'll hit tomorrow.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is it shouldn't be moving with this type of volume at this time.
Street,
go ahead.
No, I just want to ask education. So the stock market is only open from 9:30 opens to
for the most part. In America, it opens from 9, closes at 4:30. In America.
That's America. So in China, do they have their own version?
But really flawed is right. Robinhood is 24-hour trading now. Like they've added curveballs to the game. Then there's markets open in China. So when China opens, our market moves some. Futures you could trade all night. Crypto is 24 hours.
Well, here's what I'm gonna just tell y'all. Y'all know I've been on this journey. At my highest peak, Street, I was at 58% on my money. How much you think I'm on today?
At your highest peak, you was at 58, 32.
58. Right now, you think I'm at 32?
Yeah.
13%. Still winning.
Wow.
Still winning. I'm only up. I was up 58%.
When was your peak?
Now I'm going to give you a quiz.
When was your peak?
Give you a quiz. Please don't let your boy down. His peak was probably like a month ago, 2 months ago.
About a month and a half, 2 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't let your boy down.
I'm gonna buy some more right now. I'm gonna buy some more right now.
No, not now. What are you hoping? What are you hoping? Are you hoping it goes back up? Or are you hoping that shit goes down to negative? What you hoping?
Of course, I hope it goes up. I was just letting you know that the ebbs and flows of the stock market, like just 2 months ago, it was 58%. Now it's at 13. So I'm hoping.
Don't you hope it go? You hope it goes lower so you can buy more.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said for my money. I'm not. If you would ask me What if I want to buy? What do I hope? That's different. You ask me, what do I hope? I don't want my money to lose my money.
Yeah.
But if you're saying if I want to buy
No, you do. You want your money. No, you want your money to go down so you could buy Bitcoin at a lower price because we all know it's going where? Up.
I know.
We all hope it is.
See, that's my point. So you hoping at the end of the day it does what? It goes up. I know what you, but if your question was, do you hope, okay, if you wanted to buy some more Bitcoin, what do you hope it goes up or down? Then I could have answered that question. I would have said down. But at the end of the day, when it's time for me to cash out, I needed to go this way.
I think, I don't know how to word this, but if you go negative, buying more is essentially sending it that way, or I don't know. It's putting more jetpacks on you when you go that way. I don't know how to explain it. You make your money when you keep buying the bargain.
Correct. But at some point, here's my question. I don't mind keep putting it in there, but at some point, when do I want it to go that way so I can walk away from it?
When you get to the point where so I've seen guys with millions of dollars in it, right? And they're saying, this shit go back to 40. I want to buy more. That's their mentality.
Correct. And then you had some people that would have said, if they would have put $1 million in when it was at 58%, they would have had $580,000 in less than a year. And they would walk away. They bought it at that price. In 6-7 months, I think it was, I made 58% of the money. Now, if they walk away now, they only make 130,000 versus 580.
Right. See what One Manual says? He always has good comments when we start talking about investing.
Mm-hmm.
I know Black people always ask me, when do I take my money out? I've gotten to the point where I've came to the conclusion that money in your hand is worthless. You're about to give it to Really Flawed. You're about to pay a bill. You're about to go buy a car. You know what I'm saying? Money in your hand. So the question is, when do I take it out? I think it's only worth something when it's in something that's generating money.
So here's, I think, the question.
What comes in your hand is water, and it's about the
correct. However, and again, y'all know my investment. I'm an expert. I actually help write books.
Expert, dog. You've made some good decisions in your life.
So here's what I'm gonna just say to you.
What's up?
I do believe you should take your money out, but I believe you take your money out once you reach your goal. See, if you don't ever have a goal, your money stays there forever until you die. So you invested millions of dollars, died, and then your damn kids take it, and then they go spend it like water. So if my goal was to make $500,000 and I invest $1 million, and when it got to the $500,000 mark, I take my money out because I want to do something with that $500,000.
Yeah, and if you have a plan, if you have a goal,
and I start the process over.
Right.
But if I just want to keep it in there and make $2 million, then it's probably a longer term goal. But I think just my expert opinion on this is that you have to have a goal. How long do you let the money grow? You may have a 30-year plan with it. That's fine. But at some point, you want to say, I'm going to take this money out, or at least I'm going to take the interest out when it gets to this point, because I want to go maybe buy a home, maybe whatever you want to do with whatever your goal is. Because at the end of the day, what you going to do? Go in a casket with a damn stock market sheet on your chest? You died at 98%.
I think the more important thing is you have to have a goal. Listen, come for sports talk, get crypto and stock talk.
Oh no, that's what it was.
I think at some point you have to have a goal. I think what happens a lot of times, especially with Black people with finances, we don't really know what a good goal is, or what an attainable goal is, or what a goal is that we can work towards, because most of us didn't have parents that planned this way or had a goal or were in the stock market, or God forbid, I don't know a lot of Black people that know people that even know what crypto is. So I think that sometimes you're told like buy low, buy low. What the hell does that mean? That's like telling me to run a football when I love basketball. Like that doesn't mean anything to me. And I think sometimes we make these big statements and we're like, do this, do that. But like no one's telling us how or when or what does low mean, right? Like how do I even get there? If I take $5, what does $5 look like in the stock market, right? Because like $5 really isn't a lot of money in the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to quantify stuff. And I don't think we do a lot of good quantifying things for people to be able to relate to it.
I agree. Like I said, I just said that because I think, like for me, when it hit 58%, that wasn't my goal.
Look at that little
right?
baby.
I know, right?
Oh, they're taking pictures.
Get out. Get your
Real quick example of buying low. When you go to the grocery store, right, and the apples are $1, and you're disciplined enough, Flaw, to say, I ain't buying it until they're 35 cents twice a year. And you go in there when they're 35 cents, and that's the only time you buy. That's a quick example of buying low.
Mm-hmm.
You're disciplined enough to say, I know they're going to go to 35 cents, and I'm going to buy at 35 cents, and that's the only time I'm buying.
I think that makes sense to a person who is always in the grocery store. Mm-hmm. But I don't think people that are in the stock market realize how difficult it is for people to understand that lingo. Because when you actually go into an app,
yeah.
and actually look at the app and you see red and green and you see lines and you see trends and you see like that is not easy for people to understand even what they're looking at. You see what I'm saying? So like a grocery store is easy. I look at price tag. I can look at a grocery store. But the first time I ever opened an app from E-Trade, I think the first time I ever opened an app was from E-Trade.
Robinhood tries to make it simple.
Right, but it's honestly a new language.
You have to know what you're looking at. You have to know what you're looking at. And honestly, people, I think a lot of it was created to confuse. Because all of it doesn't have to be known.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was created to confuse. It was like a playground created for us. People who know.
Bro, just like football. That way everybody ain't a football coach. All them lines and terminology, confused. Everybody don't do it.
Yeah. Right. And you're right. You can't just look at an app and say, oh, what's low for Apple? Right? Because you don't know what low is.
You have no idea.
But here's the key for everybody. Here's the key for everybody listening. When your TV starts saying the stock market is crashing and Trump is driving it down, that's equivalent to them saying everything's on sale at Walmart. But they don't say that. They say the stock market is crashing.
Right. People are losing money left and right.
Right.
Right. And who would want to jump in?
What it translates to people who understand is, holy shit, that's why I got my cash, time to buy Tesla.
Look, honey, digging the couch for the change. It's time to buy.
So I don't know why they say it that way. And I got pissed off when I realized I don't know why you got red coming up on channel 7 and they're like the stock market is down.
Right.
Well,
and that's scary.
No, but you know why? But I'm gonna tell you why to most consumers though. Like you said. What you just said is something I was talking to Flawed about. Okay, let me go back and correct myself. I was talking to her about coach talk versus fan talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed when coaches speak, we speak from the glass is half empty. Fans talk from the glass is half full. Everything is positive about the team. But if you look at people who are former coaches, or maybe even former players, and they're talking about teams, they're always bringing up the negatives, right? They're always bringing up things that need to be fixed, not the positives, because the positives are kind of the given. So to you, what you just simply said is the exact same thing. They say that because the layman says everybody losing their money, right? Because if you invested, watch this. If you invested, let's just say $1,000 for math's sake, and you went up to $2,000, that's 100% of your money, right?
Yeah.
But when they say the market is crashing, and you went down right now to $1,300, you still up 30%. But at one time you were way up here. So it looks like you're losing your money.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's the coach speak. You understand the coach speak of stock to say, why are they talking like this? Because that's the time to get in more. But the fan is saying, oh my God, I've lost everything. Sell. Because they don't understand the inner workings. It's the same thing in football. When I'm telling them like, hey, this coach need to learn this, man, you're a hater. And then that dude comes out and says, man, I had to learn this stuff.
Yep.
The same exact thing. Yeah.
How many people in the chat, raise your hand, how many people in the chat, when they say the stock market is booming, the stock market is up, you thinking about, man, I need to put my money in the stock market. Oh man, the stock market is good. I need to put my money in the stock market. The stock market is up 100%. Tesla is black. Before I understood this, I felt that was the time to put my money in the stock market.
And it's not.
Sure.
All you're doing is padding what they bought when the stock market was down. And now that I'm thinking about it and we're having this conversation, bro, like it's almost as if the media is telling you the exact, hey, the stock market is crashing. The only people going to invest are the people who understand. When it's up, it feels good. Hey, man, I'm going to buy some Tesla. They say it's up. But all you're doing is adding to what they brought when it was down. Why does the news say it like that? You got to ask yourself why. Why does the news say it like that? You have to ask yourself why.
Because they want you to look at the glass half empty. When you seen it half full, like this is a positive. Right? That's how you're looking at it because you understand what's going on behind the curtain.
Right.
But to the layman out there, it looks like it's a negative. I'm gonna ask you a question, and correct me here because I'm an expert. At no point are you ever ahead of the curve unless you got it at zero. Am I correct in my analysis?
At no point are you ever ahead of the curve unless you got it at zero.
Do you need me to explain? Give you an example?
Yeah.
Okay. How much is Bitcoin right now?
Should be like 78,000, 80,000.
All right. Did it ever start off at $1?
Hell yeah, it was some cents.
Okay. So think about that. For everybody that's buying it right now at 78,000, they $78,000 too late, in essence. Because at one point, 78,000 was high.
At one point, yeah.
Right. At one point, 78,000 was high, but because it went all the way up to 100,000, that's now considered the low. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And for the people that bought it at $1 that played the real long game, they really winning. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're better off than you. It's like the running back going in the game getting 100 yards in the first quarter, right? And then one coming in the game in the fourth quarter getting 100 yards. But he doesn't have the opportunity to get 300 yards like the guy that got it in the first quarter. But he still got 100 yards.
I get it.
That was brilliant, dog. I hope you heard what I just said, dog. It was brilliant what I just said.
I heard you about the running back.
Really far, did you understand that?
Yeah, I get what you all are saying. I just think that so many times whenever you're so fluent at something, other people hear the fluency and already feel lost in the sauce. And I think sometimes, because this happens sometimes on my channel, I'll say something and I'm just rattling off a football thing. And somebody in my comment section is like, what did you mean by da-da-da? And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I think the same happens when you're talking about the stock market. Like when I learned, I remember being hella confused. This was years ago. And I remember being hella confused. And then I remember one day I showed up and a guy was like, I saw that you were confused. Let me break this down for you in layman's terms. And I was like, yes, please. And for like 2 weeks. So he broke it down for me. And then I was able to just use him to keep coming back and saying, okay, so you meant this when you said this, right? So if I do this, and I played with my money in there, right? I put like, I don't know, like $100. And I was just like, so I can just like change it and buy it. And like, my point is like, it sounds good and it sounds complicated. And once you're in there, like I always tell everybody, just download the app and play with your money. And what I mean by that is maybe not right now, but just download the app, do $100, $50 or whatever, buy a couple of things and just watch what's going on so you can understand it. I think too many times we try to wonder why people aren't where we're at instead of understanding where they're at and trying to say, okay, do you have the app downloaded? Have you ever looked at stocks? What is the thing that's concerning you? Because a lot of people have never, I mentor young girls and I'm like, have you ever thought about like your future and finances and stuff like that? And they're so confused. They don't even know where to start. So that's why I'm like, everybody starts at a different point. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that education on like, here's like the very low level of like, how do you do this? And anyways, that's all I'm saying.
No,
I just think
you're talking
you know
about
what I'm saying? Like,
the actual hands-on
yeah, there's
part.
levels.
Yeah, once they actually go download the app, now it's like, what am I looking at?
What is this?
Sure, let me ask you this. If you don't know, let me ask you this, and you know, I'm very black and white with this, and I told you at one point I was up 58%. Now I'm only up 13. In my mind, I'm still winning. I could have been winning a lot more, but the long game says it'll catch back up, right? It's like a wave, ebbs and flow. It'll go down, right? And then it'll come back up, right? It may be another 6 months, maybe 3 weeks. Hell, it may be tomorrow. Who knows? But back to when I said, shout out to Roger Dodger, you can't invest in nothing. I get it, Roger. But I was trying to say that for the people who started at the $1 mark, right now at 78%, what is that percentage? How much are they up? When I could tell you I was up 50%, 58%. So that's how much they're playing on their principle. That's what I'm saying. They are literally playing.
No, I'm gonna tell you how much they're up right now, and you can do the math on yourself.
Right, but I'm just saying that goes to show you even though it's down 78 for math's sake. So you're telling me for $1 at 78, that $1 made them 78,000. Am I correct? Or one Bitcoin rather for $1 made them 78,000.
They're up 579,000%. 884%.
Thank you.
So you do the math. What $1 does for them? You can't catch them, but you can't catch them, but you're not playing their game.
No. You're 100%.
I was just surfing, just wait for the wave to come back.
Right. I was just saying I was going back to my original point that even when the market is down, it is still up for other people.
Yeah.
That was my whole point. Yeah. So the guy that bought it at $1, when everybody's saying, "Oh, the market is down," this dude is up 78,000.
Right.
So your ground floor is 78,000. His ground floor is $1.
That's what the market is doing. So he's going to take his money out, some of it out, and that's what brings it back down because he won already. Yeah. That's why it goes down and up.
He reached his goal. He may have had a goal.
I think we're bored really, Florida, right? We're bored right now.
I'm not bored. I just think that sometimes conversations work better when there's two people talking about the same thing as opposed to me. You know what I mean? Like y'all are on a good flow. So just let me flow.
I noticed though, but we do this off. Like I had created a morning breath show and it was like Bitcoin the ball. Like I bring up charts and all for them and show them charts and all. So I kind of vowed that when I realized that we didn't know what to do with money, that these guys were working really hard to get to the NFL and they were getting there. And I realized that, holy shit, they don't know what to do with money. So that's why they spend it. And once I realized that, I said that I wasn't going to separate the two ever again. Like if I'm talking football, I'm going to say something smart about money because what's the use of backpedaling for 12 fucking years if you're going to get there and give your money to this chick who won't leave the house?
That's true.
Damn.
No, that's true. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Excuse me.
No, money conversations don't bother me. I was actually trying to find this thing that I thought I still had it saved in my files. This thing that he created for me. He basically created and this was oh, this was a long time ago, like 10, 15 years ago. But he kind of created this like cheat sheet for me. I was gonna see if I could find it, but you know how those things go. Like I'll find it one random rainy day in 3 years. But it's just like understanding the basics, because a lot of people don't want to admit that they don't know what's going on, and they just act like they know what's going on. And that's why it's like, and then you hear all the catchphrases and all the things, but then like, what's the action? How can I always tell the girls I mentor is the questions you need to ask is, how can I do this? How can I be more involved in this? What am I doing right now? What am I not doing that is limiting my ability to be involved? Because that's the thing. It's like, you have to start. You know what I mean? Like, and I always tell them, download the app, get a login, put a little bit of money in there. Like, just start it. And I think that's the whole thing. Because then it's just like everything. Once you start, you'll learn the lingo, right?
Or paper trade.
None of us.
They all have paper trading now, where you could just trade paper. You could just trade fake money in there and play with it until you hit. Like, they all have that now.
Yeah. So I guess my thing is like, and because there's people listening to this, right? I don't know how many people are listening to this that don't know what's going on, and quite frankly are confused in this conversation, that will never say that they're confused in this conversation. And so that's why for me, I'm like, hey, if you're watching this on the playback, or if you're listening to this and you're confused, the first thing to do is download the app. Well, that, and get the app, because I feel like as humans, once we get an app, we're more likely to transition to using the app. But if we don't have an app, we're not going to
refresh.
Right. But until we get the app, we're like, I'm not really. But once you get the app, now you're seeking out information, and you're trying to figure out what other people are doing. So that's it.
So can I say this? I want to give a special shout out to somebody in the chat. Hey man, watch out, man. Get out of here, bro.
What in the hell is going on?
This dude out of here, man.
Is he a police officer?
Man, get that dude out of here, man. Tighten up. Anyway, I want to give a special shout out to somebody in the chat. Very special. One of the founding fathers here, E. Brown, that says, actually, he was the person who actually cast the first bill for the New York Stock Exchange and rang it for the very first time ever. Shout out to E. Brown in the building. Y'all do me a favor. Clap it up for E. Brown. And I believe he laid the carpet as well in the New York Stock Exchange in that opening area. I think he had a carpet business as well. But he says the top 10% of Americans hold around 93% of all stocks, while the bottom 50% hold only a small percentage. And the reason he knows that, because he's been keeping that ledger ever since. And he still ain't got paid for that carpet. But we got you, bro. Shout out to E. Brown in the building.
Shout out to E. Brown, though.
He said, shout out to Jen. That guy, that's Rob from Texas. He was looking for Spider-Man Hunter.
But really, Flaw, I've been saying buy Bitcoin for so long that you didn't really need to know how to do anything. But go to your Cash App and transfer some money to Bitcoin. Like, I've been saying that long, to where it was 30,000, 25,000. I've been saying it that long, to where Hayes eventually just went and brought it one day. Was like, Street, I do this shit.
Yeah, but respectfully, Hayes likens himself to a pretty smart, capable man. So certain things are going to trigger certain people. If you're like, all you got to do is da-da-da, right? You're like, okay, that's it. That's not, Hayes is not the average American.
It took more than that.
But I'm just saying, like, and he trusts you. He's listening to you. He's kind of like, okay, he's gonna keep saying this thing. Da-da-da. My point is most people don't operate in that world of where they know somebody they trust that knows finances. Let's just call it what it is. And again, back to kind of the Xavier Worthy, we always hear the bad stories, right? We always hear the, oh God, I lost this, or I can't do, you know what I mean? And so it's like
the boiler room stories. Like the movie.
Everybody needs their own trigger. That's why I'm like, I'm one of those people. I always say, start at the basics. If you don't know, start at the basics. Do the things you do know how to do, and then ask the right questions.
But you know what, Flaw? I hate to say,
where's Reggie coming, dog? Reggie coming might have been the best coming of the year, dog.
Oh, that job's hilarious.
Huh?
What did he say?
What did he say now? Stocks to stocks.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Who's in timeout?
So no, but
Decent time out.
so here's what's funny about like what you just said too is Street could tell you this, bro. When I do stuff, I really want to have an understanding. I don't have to know everything, but I need an understanding. I need to know 2 + 2 doesn't mean 4 to me because you said it's 4. I need to understand. And man, Street sent me YouTube video. He taught me. He walked me through
Cartoons, Lego video.
he showed me that red and green chart that be going like this,
Mhm.
and I just couldn't rap. So one day I just said, you know what, Hayes, throw this million in here. I mean,
Boy, if it was a million, boy. Woo!
I'm sorry. Throw the $100 in here because you can afford to lose it, if that's the case, right? And when I got up to 580,000, I mean, when I got to $58, I was like, cool. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how, I'm just saying I threw it in there because, and then I bought some more and I said, okay, now that's why I can keep track of the percentage. And it tells you on the app.
58% on your money. Think about it. When you go to the bank and they sit down, they tell you put it in your savings account. In a year, it's going to give you 2%, 3%.
0.0002%. Not even 2%.
Hayes just told y'all he made 58% on his money, and I'm not sure how many. You can do that with lottery and being a hooker. I don't know any other things you can do that with your money. Like, dog, 58% on your money is a lot for people who think it's a joke. Now, for the people who skip school and don't know what percentages are, if Hayes had $100 in there, 58%, it went up. I mean, he had 58 more dollars. Something like
So I'm gonna tell people that, to your point about putting money in. If you got a piggy bank or the kids bank, do that instead, because the piggy bank sitting at the house earns no interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you put $2 in, $3 in, let's just say you had $100, and we're talking about within 6 months this happened, right? Now it's dropped back down, but whatever. In 6 months, instead of that piggy bank sitting there on the dresser with $100 in it, earning nothing but dust bunnies, would have made $58. That's $58 more than you had. That's just
the pushback though is like, but then if I need eggs or diapers, I can't go get them because the money is in a market and it's not in my home.
Shit, we could.
But how many people have
money everywhere? Like, if we think about,
I'm just saying. But my point is though,
we're putting it in Starbucks.
My point is though, we can't speak on all the amazing, magnificent things without adding in the things that people struggle with when they're making a decision. That's a pain point.
To some people,
I mean, can we at least admit that? Like, I think that's the struggle, right? That's that extra hurdle of, because I personally believe that you should not be in the stock market if you don't know how to manage money. In my opinion, I believe if you don't have a budget for yourself, you don't know how much money you're spending a month and how much money you're taking out, and you can't manage your own finances that you can actually touch, maneuver, move, and do all those things. In my mind, I don't think you should be in the stock market because you're not responsible with money. Because what's going to happen is you're going to need the money that you just put in the stock market, and now you're going to be taxed on the money, and you're going to have a bad experience. But your problem isn't the stock market. Your problem is you don't know how to manage money and balance your checkbook.
Yeah, the problem is you.
Right. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't disagree with anything that you all are saying. Mm-hmm. I just think that fundamentally we have to realize, like, everybody's not like this at a very basic level. We have to understand, we have to have financial literacy. We have to be able to count and multiply and divide. A lot of people can't do that. That's all I'm saying.
100% fair. But I'm speaking of the people that think about the people that grew up. And you can put this in the chat. How many of y'all still got them piggy banks at your mama house when you were in elementary school? Or that jar that had the little money in it that you never went in, never actually broke the piggy bank. It's still sitting there on the dresser in your room, or maybe it's, grandma, Big Mama had that china cabinet that put all the people's stuff in it. There's a lot of people that still
Congratulations to y'all, because we broke ours about every 6 months.
Nah, I still got one. We still got that piggy bank with the money in it.
Too many kids.
No, we had the piggy bank with the money, because it was always your pocket change. There was always, when you took change out and you just stick it in there. That's what it was.
Yeah, but we needed that money. That's what I'm saying. I didn't grow up in a family where we had money to spare.
So again, that's different. If you don't have money to spare and you got to constantly spend it, then this ain't the thing for you, right? But like Insane, look at Insane. He got a nice silver fox beard there, right? no insulting, but what I'm saying is, he says, I have one out in my garage. But imagine whatever that money is was invested in something for all that time that was sitting in his garage. It could have earned interest. But right there, it didn't do nothing but earn dust. That's all I was just saying. It's not like he's going to go broke, but it could have been into something. That's all we said.
That red always scares me.
That what?
Anyway, I need it that when it turns red, the background, because it's so bright.
Oh, I don't know. Just ad pop up.
Oh, y'all missed. No, well, y'all. I think y'all both looked away, and I was like, oh gosh.
No, I was trying to cut it off. It's a red. It's the ad pop up.
Oh, okay.
All right, look at the Godfather here. E. Brown. That applies to anyone who earns a wage, whether it's in the stock market or the workforce. Yeah. I mean, it's people work every day and they get a check with zero balance because it's already, they done been the doggone pre-check. They done been the Amscot and done burn up their check already before they even got it. So those are not the people you're talking to. If you can't save $3, then you're in bad shape.
Yeah, I think yeah. And there's more people that do not know how to save and how to manage money than there are that do.
That's correct.
So if you live in a world where you think more people do not know how to manage their money. So whenever you make these, do this. Some people are not even close to doing that. They need to start at, do you know how much money you're bringing in a month after taxes? Do you actually know that answer? A lot of people, you'd be shocked. A lot of people will say around.
Mm-hmm.
Around is not how you do math. That's never how you do math. You never say around.
Every penny counts.
The answer is $551.
Yeah, Wani Mayor, everybody should have a monthly budget sheet that tracks the penny, what you spend monthly, how it comes in.
Sounds great.
Can I tell you this? I don't know what bank people. Chase actually does that. Chase actually has all of that. It tells you everything you spend. It categorizes it. What you spend on food, entertainment. Now you may have to check some things.
So you have Chase, huh?
Chase your ass down if my money missing. You damn right. But I'm just saying, I know a lot of banks have that mechanism within it, because those things. If you go on those apps, they have things to help you manage it. Now you have to put forth some effort and a little bit of time. But to your point, you don't even have to do it with a pencil anymore. They're actually taking your account, breaking it up for you, showing you what you spend on food, what you spend on utilities and bills, all of that kind of stuff to show. And it makes a pie chart, all that kind of, make a line graph, whatever you want. So
all that sounds great if I knew how to read it. I'm just
no, to your right. Well, guess what?
That's what I always tell people. Like,
they should have paid attention in math class. Then
that's what I'm saying. I'm an educator. I see college students when they're entering college, and I get to see them when they're ending college. And I'm telling you, these people,
you can go to the sub center over there on what you call it? What that was? 441.
441.
I don't know what that is. Anyways, how long have we been on here? Why are we always on here so long? When I'm not on here, y'all are like in and out 42 seconds.
So we got because you be holding us hostage with them guns. Don't move, don't shoot.
If I was, let me not say that. We're live. Yeah.
No,
So
that's
anyway,
a great conversation. Like these kind of conversations.
Yeah, no, I think I think it's good to talk finances, and like I always say and everything, I'm always going to play everything apart. I'm going down. I'm going to say, okay, are we managing our money? Because usually that answer is no. I deal with people that answer is no. So my conversations are always like, are you balancing? Get the app. You know, I don't start at stocks. I start at, what is your goal? Do you have the app? Do you know how much money you make? And everybody's like, around,
Around.
close to. Some months I'm like, that okay. So, but if you ask somebody how much their spouse makes, they can usually give you the exact number.
That's crazy. It's no longer around.
But if you ask the spouse, they're like, oh, about $1,725 goes into their month. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So, in and out in 42 seconds. That's diabolical. I'm glad they caught what I'm saying.
I heard it, but I missed it. Talk to us. Hit us back.
So I was like, I'll go back. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Damn. Went in a tight end, came out a wide receiver. Street, you over there trading stocks right now? My dog in the China New York Exchange.
So what do we want women to know, men to know? What is it?
Oh, damn. We need to get to that.
I'm going to do mine real quick.
Mine going to be quick. You stuck. Mine is quick.
Like 42 seconds.
In and out. Watch this.
Go for it.
I'm be going
Make it good.
Women, you really don't know how much the man make. No see
that's really funny. That's funny. I was going to say that women want men to know that sometimes we just want to feel important, whatever that means.
Exactly.
An extra text, an extra like, hey, I noticed you changed your hair. An extra like, hey, I liked that dinner that you made last night. Just an extra. Appreciate you. That's it.
That works.
Oh, okay. Get you a lot. It's a good ROI, I can tell you that. Oh, just saying.
Oh, God.
It'll get you longer than 42 seconds.
42 seconds.
Sometimes that's all you need. Yeah.
I want women. I think men want y'all to know we don't like y'all when y'all play hard to get. We don't like the chase.
Yeah.
We want it to be easy. We don't like the chase. We don't like y'all playing hard to get. We don't want the thrill of.
Do you like me or not? That's
right,
it.
Yeah, be easy. Like we don't.
I thought men were hunters.
Yeah, once we get you, we want to eat you. We don't want you to start playing games.
Oh, so you're saying once it's already established?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like sometimes I've heard women say,
I ain't gonna
call you. Like they get the number, don't call you right away. Like we don't want it to be hard. Like
then you don't want to be a hunter.
Ain't worth having. I've heard women say that. Anything that comes,
then you don't want to be a hunter, really.
That's not true.
I don't want to work.
Can I say something here, Street?
I'm getting conflicting messaging.
No.
If I like you, I meet you in the club. I wanted that night. I still like you. If I like you,
right?
But is the chase over?
No, but here's what you have to understand, Flaw. And this is God's honest truth. In the African jungle and safari.
Oh, here we go.
When the lion wakes up, he says, "I must be faster than the slowest gazelle." And the gazelle wakes up and says,
the cops are coming to get you.
Than the faster lion. What does that mean? That means, have you ever seen the lion chase the gazelle and be like,
put him in the car, please?
No, seriously. The lion is running. He like, no, I don't like that gazelle. Let me go to the next one. He gonna get the last one and he good.
Yep.
I've never seen the lion run past the zebra like, that's a little too small. Let me go to the next one.
So y'all are hunters or no?
No, we are hunting, but we don't want to hunt hard way. That's what you see. You want to be act like you in the front of the pack. When at the end of the day, I could take the last one. I'm still gonna be full.
Yeah, and you'll get what you get. Then the world goes round. Then you have ones with ones, twos with twos, threes with threes. And then the guy that wants to run all the way down the hill gets a 9. That 4 will go get a 9. You get what you get.
And sometimes the person in 99th place is in front of the person in first place because they've been lapped.
This is men telling women what we
Oh,
want.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Come on now.
Say it again.
What did you say? What did you say, Street?
You're talking about the one in the front. I said, usually
I'm not
because
listening to you, actually. You're fired. What did you say, Street?
This is men telling women what we want them to know. Hey, how did really flawed get her 2 cents in? This is us masculine, funky, musky men. You know what I'm saying? Telling women what we want them to know.
Mainly because every time I usually say something, both of you are like, "Oh wait, I have a question. Well, wait, what about this? Oh, wait. So whenever I can give it back,
not since you told me, not since you told me that day, I have not rebutted what you said. And here you are. Stop acting hard to get. She's playing hard to get.
We don't like the taste. We don't like the attitude. I've heard women say, "They like when I be mean." They like when I be mean. He like when I'm mean.
That's fine that you don't like it. That just means I'm not for you. It's fine.
No, we're confused.
So you play games.
We don't know if you're being mean because you don't like me, or you playing hard to get. And then if you really don't like me, they're like, "This stalking ass dude." And then you like, see what I'm saying? Like, this stalking ass dude keep calling me, and I keep telling him I'm busy. Fuck, man.
No, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like the caveman hit the woman over the head and just drag her in the cave, right? It's kind of like women want you to be that assertive. Like,
we want you to be assertive, yes. Not
right.
Not extreme, but a little
women
bit.
Have bump on head. Ow, women have bump on head from club.
No, honestly, I'm just giving both of you a hard time. I totally hear you. Point taken. I'm honestly, I am just giving both of you a hard time, just because I like to see you squirm. But I hear you loud and clear.
Playing hard. See that? Playing that. We don't know how to take it.
Hey, I can do that though. Y'all are trying to get with me, but somebody watching this might be trying to get with y'all. So I'm trying to, soften you up. You know what I'm saying?
The flaw. Did you see how both of us got confused just that fast? Like we were like, but. And then when you said I was just playing, you said we both relaxed. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I know how to work a room and a man. Oh, different conversation, different day. Next week.
So what was yours? Yours was a text, right? Okay, let me send Kia a text then. Okay, since you just tried
send
to
her a text and just let her know how important she is and how much you love her.
Hey, can we do it, babe?
She don't think I'm cheating. She don't think I'm cheating.
Right. There you go.
That's okay. But that means you don't do it often.
But if you do, when you do it, that means you don't cheat as often.
Then you need to start.
No, I'm saying if you do it every once in a while, she's gonna be like, this dude don't hardly do this. Why is he doing it?
Right, which means you need to do it more. If you do something nice for maybe this should have been mine. If you do something nice for your woman and she looks at you and thinks you've lost your damn mind, that means you don't do it enough. That means she's kind of like, what is this? What are we doing? Are you is something going on? Why are we doing this?
So, can I add to mine? What I want women to know: when men send you that text, it's sincere. You don't have to question it.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Give it to me straight. Bang, bang, bang. Shoot them up.
You need that noise that's like, what is
all
that
extra
shooting
thinking?
noise?
Nobody need all that extra thinking.
But there go my other one. What we want women to know: when we take advice from a woman on what we need them to know, when we do it, please don't question it. Just accept it. Bang, bang. Shoot them up. Bang.
Anyways, I'm done with both of you. I'm through.
And who was that from Miami that ran up the tunnel? Wasn't that Lamar Thomas? Or no, that was Randall Hill. Wasn't that Randall Hill? Huh?
Randall Hill.
Ran the tunnel. Remember that against Texas? Shoot him up.
All right, let's get up out of here, bro.
Bang, 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 bang.
Why you got your almost?
Hey, baby, I miss you. hairy back so I could put whipped cream on your drink.
Yeah, on your
That was
toes.
good. That was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
And
she
make
say?
sure
What's the
when she
response?
comes
What's
in,
the
you have it ready. Don't send it and then renege.
Hold on, I got a
Okay,
question.
this
What's
isn't
the response?
spades.
What if her response is, huh? Huh?
Aside do text back, man. You know it's my night.
She's at a stoplight. Okay. Anyways, we'll see you all next week. Hope you'll have a great show tomorrow and talk about all the great things.
That's hilarious.
Reggie said she's gonna respond and say who this.
Who this?
Oh,
Help
that's
me,
funny.
Christ, man. Man, shout out to everybody, man, for jazzing the garden, man. Uncle Luke, I'm off in Miami too. Did anybody else from Miami perform? Like Trick or anybody?
Yeah. Ball Greasy was there.
Okay. Damn, she
Busta
just
Rhymes, he
disappeared.
might well be from Miami. He be here, so he live here.
We still live, Flaw. We still live. I think she think we gone. But anyway.
I know. That's why I had to get off camera.
Oh.
Oh,
She put some more ammo in the gun.
No, I dropped something and I went to go pick it up. And I was like, oh, let me go off camera.
She put some more ammunition in the revolver. Shout out to Reggie for the $2, man. Great show. Appreciate you, man. Flaw, take us out of here.
All right. So in closing, I would like to say, if you are grown enough to make bad decisions, make sure that you have somebody to call when you're in a bad situation. That's all I got. That's all I got. And thank God I didn't flash the camera. So there's that. So we made it. We're good to go.
All right.
Bye, everyone. I'll see you next week. You'll have to do it with these two lovely, handsome men.
Football field
masculine,
sound like Luke. That's why
masculine
he
men.
would do sound check. She did it for him. We got